Yesterday, the caddy didn't leave his ear on all day, always in his ear. 144 yards, little light lie here on the right hand side. Looks like a little bit of a flyer, but just in the little small cut. I think it's 40mm cut in the rough around here. Light rough, ball is in the air, beautiful posture, beautiful swing. The ball is towering up lovely and high. Is it going to come down a little bit? Oh, unfortunately I'll have to go up and have a little look at that, but that could be bunkered there on. I'll just have a go. I'll scamper up here and you continue on.
I can. It looks as if, I mean, that really is a miss, you have to say, from where he was. But that has almost certainly gone in the bunker, chased off, just to confirm that and confirm what sort of lie he's got. But that was certainly a misjudgment, whether or not it was underclubbing or whether it simply wasn't a good enough strike. We shall see. But anyway, it's very much advantage Oosthuizen to begin with. He's around about 12 feet from the pin for an opening birdie. They're coming up onto the green now, and Ray is chasing back, and he will report immediately on Morikawa's lie in the bunker. Ray, what sort of lie has he got there?
Stunning lie. Back over to you, Matt.
Watch Ray, Jordan Spieth. Just it. Perched. 16 paces on and 5 from the left side. It is dangerous on that left side if he overcooks this one. How is the lie in the rough?
Lie is decent. It's no problem getting to the ball, but controlling it might be another matter. He'll have no issue reaching the front of the green, reaching the middle of the green, but he does have danger of flying it past the flag and potentially getting a flyer over. If it goes over, it's going to leave a very tricky up and down.
All right, then, much to be concerned with for Jordan Spieth to work out all of those variables. Ball is on its way. You heard him say kick right as the ball comes in short of the green, bounding up onto it, catches the swale, rolling to the flag, settling. Jordan Spieth is very close for birdie at number 2. Played it out perfectly. All right, we turn our sights now to the other side of the fairway. Dylan Fratelli, he hit the left rough. And what did you make of that lie?
Yeah, Dylan has, he can get to the back of the ball. He has 117 yards to the flag. It's just got a little bit of rough that's like almost flopped over behind the ball. He'll only be hitting some kind of a wedge, but his angle is really quite poor. The pin is tight to the left and a big swale left to the flag. So I don't see him getting this much closer than 20 feet. He'll do very well to get it in that range.
All right, Fratelli settling in over this one. Shot is on its way. Grass flying up in every direction as the ball soars towards hole. Coming in left of it, runs past it, catches a swale, looking to trickle back onto the putting surface, and it catches enough of it that he should be able to be using a putter from above the hole there, inside of 30 feet. Fratelli stands at 7 under par. Jordan Spieth is 8 under and hunting down a birdie coming up here at number 2 from short distance.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Justin Harding with a birdie putt at 5, Sue.
7 under par, and that's just curling away from the hole. It was looking pretty good until it took a little bit too much of the borrow and the pace wasn't quite right.
Back to Ron and Ramey at the first.
Yes, where I can tell you that Colin Morikawa has come out of the bunker with an absolutely beautiful shot. And he's gone past the hole on the right-hand side to a very similar position to where Louis Oosthuizen is now lining up his birdie putt. What's he got, Ray?
Yes, Louis got a 12-footer up the hill, a little bit of right to left, and then comes back a little bit. So I'd say it's about left half this putt. A tremendous second shot. Louis steps in, high hands the grip, drops his hands down. Has one last look. Ball is in the air. This putt to get to 12 under. Will it get there? Will it get there? Oh, well, it just a late break that finishes around the back of the hole. So Louis will just tap this little small one in for an opening popper and remain at 11 under par. Meanwhile, Morikawa, as Ron says, came out of the bunker. Beautiful soft landing bunker shot on a huge downslope here, and just maybe knocked it about 7 feet, 6 feet past Ron.
Something like that, yeah, 7 or 8 feet, but not on a dissimilar line to which Louis hit his shot. It's probably a little further right, but a good opportunity for him to save his par. And the last thing he would want, of course, is to lose that momentum which he's built up over 2 days immediately on the first hole. Caddy behind him. Lots of advice being offered by the caddy. Now look at the line. Morikawa steps away, then steps back in. Another word with the caddy. Morikawa now crouches down behind the ball. One last look. This, remember, is for par. Oosthuizen already has his par to stay at 11 under where he's started this third round. Morikawa now, shadow behind him, won't trouble him at all. Very still. And now sent it on its way, and in it goes, in it goes. Good save, good save. Wonderful up and down from the bunker. So both Louis Oosthuizen and Colin Morikawa start their third rounds with a par.
Over to you, Matt.
Thank you very much, Raymond. Out here at the par 4 second, with Dylan Fratelli from 30 feet just nestled a birdie putt down to the hole. He's left it about 2.5 feet away. And now that clears the way for Jordan Spieth, who hit a beautiful shot. What did you think about what he did and how he played it in front of the green and let it trundle on?
It was a very smart play. He took out the back edge, which was the no-go zone. But he had a wonderful shot. I think if he dropped, 50 balls down there, he wouldn't get any of them this close. So that's a huge result for him. He's only got about 3.5 feet here, slightly uphill and slightly from right to left.
The beauty with Jordan Spieth, he should always know what he's thinking. He does his own on-course play-by-play for every single shot, settling in now behind it.
He's behind it, not taking much time. He's in, put a back ball in his way, easily hold. Jordan Spieth with an early birdie here on the second hole.
Let's go to Robert Nielsen.
Well, we're looking at DJ on the third. Lovely tee shot that's run about 15 feet beyond the flag and to the left. He tapped in his par putt on the second, so 2 pars for Dustin Johnson to remain at 8 under for the championship. Scotty Scheffler bogeyed the second. He missed the third green to the left, and he's pitched up some 8 feet by, similar length to the one he missed at the last. Rob, what's DJ got here?
DJ has got a very makeable birdie putt. I think it's going to come a little bit from his left-hand side. That's what I see. And after saving himself so well in the first 2 holes, this is the first real look he's had. DJ to get to 8 under par. There's a big crowd in the grandstand behind the screen. This goes in, there'll be a lot of noise. Only in his third hole, Dustin Johnson sends it on its way. It is left to right, it's breaking. Has he hit it hard enough? Has he? No, he hasn't. Only a par. Tough hole though, 245 from the tee box. 3-par start is not all bad.
Yeah, he's made a very steady start, which can't be said of Brooks Koepka, who 3 bogeys in his first 5 holes to go back to -2, and Emiliano Grillo a short time ago, alas, a triple bogey 6 at the par 3 third, which takes him back to 4 under. So a couple of disasters, it has to be said. Back to the Snedeker and Lowry group and Rupert and Harry.
Well, it's been a frustrating first 10 holes for Shane Lowry because 9th, Mr. Tiddler, and so dropped another shot, having played brilliantly tee to green, and here on 10, Harry.
Yeah, fantastic second shot into 10, great opportunity from about 6.5 feet, and missed that one as well. So unfortunately, 2 bogeys, 1 birdie on that par 5 7th hole on his first 10 holes. So 1 over for his round and back to -3.
Well, the putter not working for him. At last, a bit of joy for Brandt Snedeker because he's had a birdie here at 10, but that means he's now just 3 over par for his round and 1 under for the championship.
Thanks, Rupert. Straight back to Rob and Ilsey with DJ and Scheffler.
Yeah, and we've just seen Scotty Scheffler roll that put in from 8 feet to stay at 7 under. Sorry, it's 6 under. I'm getting all these mixed up. DJ is 7 under. Scotty Scheffler at 6 under as we go to the long par 4 fourth.
Well, early days, of course, Sue, but Louis Oosthuizen just missing out with his birdie putt. Equally, Colin Morikawa very happy to have his par putt at the first, and here's John Rahm, his 4th to the par 5/7. He's obviously been in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, he has, but he's played a beauty there. The backspin, just taking that ball a little bit further away from the pin than he would like, but he's going to have a par putt there of 6 feet out to Matty.
Thank you very much, Sue. You found us here at the par 3 third. 245 yards separate Jordan Spieth, who's now within 2, and his target. He looks, settles his body, mind, draws the club back, and it is on its way. Everyone likes to look at this when the hole is cut pretty much in the middle of the screen in the back. It hits on the right side, kicks to the left. Oh, and it caught a little swale. It's actually running away from the hole now. But a little bit unlucky there, but that's the nature of these swales on these links golf course. So he will have a putt of some 40 feet for Jordan for his birdie opportunity. Dylan Fratelli will be up next. He's parred his first 2 holes. He stands on 7 under par. You heard me mention it before, Reese, that this has got to be a comfortable pairing.
Yeah, you'd have to think so. I know these guys. These guys were teammates in college. They know each other well. They both they both live now in Texas. So yeah, they're going to feed off each other, I think. And I've already seen some good interaction between them.
Dylan Fratelli seems, too, to not be consumed by the stage that he's on right now. You know him quite well?
I do. I know Dylan well. You're right. He won't be overawed at all by this situation. He's had a good-looking shot here, right in the middle of the green. Is he going to bounce up onto the top tier? It is. It's rolling, up onto the flat. Stops about 10, 12 feet short of the flag and have an excellent chance for a birdie, too.
All right, again, where we stand, Fratelli is 7 under, Jordan Spieth is 8 under. We will have birdie putts coming up in this par 3.
Thank you, guys. Sue, John Rahm, par putt.
That's what he approached. Wait, he's 4th on the par 5, 7th, and he's missed it. Oh, he slapped left to the left-hand side and then struck a Marshall who was kneeling down to the left-hand side of the green and rebounded quite a long way back down the fairway. Ron, back to you.
Yes, we've got Colin Morikawa, Ray described earlier. First of all, the fact that he had to come out sideways to the bunker, then his approach shot overhit, has gone to the top. Now this green just slopes from back to front, and he's got a long putt, and almost all of it, Ray, is downhill. And remember, this is for par.
Absolutely, Ron, and it's not too far off the backside of the green near that flag position. So this putt is probably one of the fastest putts on this golf course downhill. He leaves the pin in, ball is on its way. As it just about gets the slope, it's trickling down, trucking down towards the flagstick to the right hand side, and a nice little bit of work left here. He's got at least, that was probably a wrong read, but he's probably got 3 to 4 feet here left for bogey 5 here, as we've seen Louis Oosthuizen, who just ripped another drive, ripped another beautiful wedge shot, high, towering, almost pitched it into the hole, and he has an 8 to 9 footer here, Ron, coming up for birdie to get to 12 under par.
Yeah, he's had a look at it. It's, as Ray says, around about 8 feet, downhill, shadow behind him. Wonderful galleries, of course, watching these 2 great players, major champions, both of them. Morikawa, the 2020 PGA champion, and of course Louis won this championship at St Andrews in 2010. Now then, settles over the putt, fairly upright stance. He's not a tall man, of course, and just a little bend at the knees. Sets it on its way, and and those knees bend again because it just literally scraped past the hole on the right-hand side. That's good to go to Robert.
Dustin Johnson had 174 from the rough on the left-hand side, good lie, but he pulled it because you do try and hit it left and get it to career around this massive slope that's on this green. Unfortunately, he hit one of the Marshalls, David Allen, right in the thigh. He's got a ankle thigh, and it kicked it 40 yards to the right, and it's now short right of the green. And, well, it's going to be a very tricky up and down for Dustin Johnson. Ron and Raymond.
Thank you, Robert. And as we see Colin Morikawa here, tricky little putt here from about 2.5, 3 feet. Hole cut a little bit from the right to left side. 7 right from this left side of the green as he steps in. Drops the hands down, the claw grip comes out, eyes over the ball. Has one last look. Takes takes the putter back, ball is on his way. Has it got there? Oh, just about, just trickled it in. So Colin Morikawa will go back to 8 under par. Over to you, Eilsey.
Well, we just witnessed Dustin Johnson play a pitch shot from the front right-hand side of this 4th green. Unfortunately, didn't just quite get the strike right, and the ball has careered some 15 to 18 feet beyond the hole, so we will have that one left for a par 4. Meanwhile, Scotty Scheffler with a fantastic second shot in from the right side of the fairway, 165 yards, just about carried onto the top and just rolled down toward the flag. So he and his caddy are now surveying what is left, which is around about 15 feet or so. And it will be 15 feet because I've given DJ 18 and he's about to go. So clumsy, Rob, would you say?
I would say, yeah, he was fortunate to finish where he was with a pretty much straight shot up the green, but I don't know, he took a lot of loft. It was either even a putter or chip and run with an 8-iron. It had to be so perfect off a slight downslope to carry it on to the top level where the flag is, pitching then on another downslope. There's just no chance he was going to get that much grab.
No, but tempting after you've hit 2 magnificent pitches at the first and the second.
Austin's doing the aim point, striding 1 foot and the other one aside the ball, the line bisecting his stance, and he's put 3 fingers up. I believe there's a bit of swing in this one from the right hand side. Oh, is that 4 finger? That could be 4 fingers. Breaking news: Austin has used 4 fingers to read that line. He strolls up towards the hole side and points to DJ. That's where you want to start it. That's what 4 fingers gives you, about a foot right at the hole. They work so well together. Now he's gone back to check the 4 fingers. He's sticking with it.
It is interesting, isn't it? He takes no time with the approach shots to the greens, and yet he does take a lot of time on and around the green. And here he goes now, settles in behind this putt. Made the mind up. He and Austin picked the line. 1, 2 practice swings. Right hand settles the putter behind the ball. Left hand on the grip. Away it goes. It's turning from right to left. Is it going to reach? Is it going to reach? Is it going to reach? No, it is not. So a bogey 5 for Dustin Johnson at the par 4. 4th will go to Sue.
Danny Willett for eagle on the 10th. Second shot, ball bounding towards the hole. It's rolling, it's rolling, it's rolled into the hole. Arms aloft, and he's absolutely roaring with laughter, Danny Willett. What an easy game golf is. He goes to 6 under par for the Open.
Yeah, terrific stuff from Danny Willett, who was grinning like a Cheshire cat as that one went in. Let's go back to Rob and Eilsey.
Well, golf's a funny game. Dustin Johnson has moved to 1 over par. Scotty Scheffler 1 over par after an early bogey, but he has an opportunity here to get back to level for the day. The big tall man with a left to right down the hill. One last look. Putter swings back. It's super quick. He's only given us a little tiny stroke and he's leaking away on the right hand side. A little more oomph and it would have gone in.
Okay, well, some ups and downs as far as that pairing is concerned. This is the situation at the moment. It is the 3rd round, of course, of the 149th Open Championship, being played under the most glorious blue skies at Royal St George's in Sandwich in Kent. Louis Oosthuizen starting the day at 11 under. Well, he's parred his opening 2 holes. Jordan Spieth has climbed into 2nd place now. He is 1 under through 3. Colin Morikawa, of course, has dropped 1 shot, so he has slipped back to 3rd place at 8 under. As we go back to Matt and Reese for more on Jordan and Dylan.
The distinctive par 4 4th hole, which sweeps from right to left to a raised green that has sharp fronting to protect it. Massive false front. On the right side in the rough is Dylan. Tell me, how far is he? How's his lie?
He's got 190 to the hole, and again, his lie is clean, but it potential for fly. It's not likely to get much backspin when it lands. It lands short of the green on the downslope, shoots through the gully at the front, and goes rolling over the back edge of the green into another little grassy swale. That'll be tricky from there.
Yeah, he opted to play that one low out of that lie. Now in the fairway again is Jordan Spieth. What has he left?
He has 183 after a fantastic tee shot in the left centre. Got a good chance to get some good contact on the ball and stop the ball on the top tier of this green. Wind is out of his left.
shot is on its way. He's leaning slightly to the left. It's coming in from the right. Is room over there for it to hold, and it does. So Jordan Spieth will have a birdie opportunity coming up, and it's going to be a relatively flat putt for him. It may move a little bit. It looks to his left as it gets to the hole, but it's going to be coming in from inside of 30 feet. Here's where we stand. Jordan Spieth is 1 under on his round today, 9 under for the championship. Dylan Fratelli, level par as such today, and 7 under overall.
I would say, Marcus, just looking at the early scores right now, no one is really leaping out of the pack. They could be putting on a little bit of pressure here. John Rahm has slipped back, although as we look at the television pictures, he's had a birdie putt which has just come up a fraction short. But apart from Cameron Smith, 3 under par, and Jordan Spieth with a birdie, no one from that pack a little bit further back, 7 under or so, has made a move. DJ a shot over, is 1 over par. Scotty Scheffler 1 over par as well. Paul Casey level par for the day. So they're not quite making their presence felt just yet. Let's head back out to the course, though. I think we're going back out to Ron and Ramey.
How are you, Sue? How are you doing this afternoon? We are currently here on the 3rd green, and Colin Morikawa has missed the green on the left-hand side. The ball has stayed out of the rough. It's beautifully flat lie. A little bit of a downslope, 245 yards to get back to this flag position today. Louis Oosthuizen has already missed the green on the left-hand side as well. He's much higher up towards pin high, and he's in the sort of light, heavy rough, if you know what I mean. And he is a very, very difficult shot ahead of him. So, Colin Morikawa going through his paces, 3 or 4 practice swings. This is going to maybe 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock with a little bit of spin, back ball position, open club face. Slips it in nice and low. Is it going to spin? Does it take the spin? And it doesn't. And it does. And what a beautiful golf shot there from Colin Morikawa. He has got a 4-footer left here for par here on this 3rd green. A very stylish shot there, Ron.
Oh, it was high class, it really was. He's taking a little time just to get his feel and touch, but that was a class shot, high class shot. This is a 2-tiered green, and the pin is cut on the top tier. 7 in from the right, 32 on, so you can see it's well to the back. And as Raymond described earlier, Louis is in the 2nd cut there. It's not the thickest of the rough, and it looks from here anyway, we can see most of the ball, so it seems to have a pretty decent lie, and the chances are he's going to float it up. He's almost level with the top tier anyway, much closer than Morikawa, and he's a master of this little thing. It's just a little chip up onto the green, rolls it down, and beautifully done to around about 6-7 feet maybe.
Yes, a wonderful little shot there. Just jumped right on him a little bit and it hit the green. But lovely pace as Louis goes up to mark this ball. Over to you, Matty.
Raymond, thank you. Dylan Fratelli from over the green here in 4, a little swell, and radar tells us there is grass under the ball, so he's going to try to slip it right under it. Hit a little spinny wedge shot up there. This one releases past the hole by what? Give it 4 feet. Reese on that one, and that's what he's going to need to stay at 7 under.
The crucial thing there, though, he's left to the wrong side of the hole. He'll be putting down a severe slope, braking hard from left to right to try and save his par. He'd have much rather, even if it was further away, the other side of the hole putting uphill, which is the angle Jordan Spieth will be putting from for birdie.
All right, so Jordan Spieth, where he'll be putting from birdie, is just inside of 30 feet. He is 1 under on his efforts today. He's here on this 4th green to try to get himself to 10 under par and get within 1 shot. Let's go to Ron and Raymond.
Thank you, Matty. Louis is taking the stance. One last look. Ball is on his way. Stays really still, and he's held it. And Louis, what a beautiful up and down there for Louis. Par and 3. Over to you, Matt.
Thank you, Jordan Spieth, to get within 1 shot of Louis. Settles behind this one, sending the putter back and through, rolling to the hold. Line goes good. It's in. Jordan Spieth gets to 10 under. Ron.
Thanks, Matt. Dramatic stuff too. Oosthuizen's lead is just 1 now over Jordan Spieth. Now can Colin Morikawa get his par here to stay at 8 under? He's got about, 5 feet maybe. Downhill, slightly, only very slightly. Shadow behind him. But it's a pretty important putt for him. No momentum just yet. Over the putt. Slides it forward. And in it goes. Good putt, good up and down from a difficult position. Morikawa then stays at 8 under. Oosthuizen still the leader, but only by 1 now, 11 under.
It's warming up already. What a terrific putt that was by Jordan Spieth. By the way, in the battle for the silver medal a short time ago, Matthias Schmidt, the German amateur, finished with a 71. So he's at even par after his 3 rounds of 74, 65 and 71. 5 ahead of the other amateur left, Yuxin Li of China. Back to Matt and Reese.
Fratelli for par. He made it out at the 4th. That was a tough one, about 4.5 feet. As you heard Reese described, it was down the slope and moving sharply to his right, but nonetheless up and down. He remains at 7 under par. As you just heard, the drama out here at the 4th because Jordan Spieth is 2 under through 4. He is within 1.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, so just to confirm, Matthias Schmidt looking good for that silver medal with a 5-shot lead over Yuxin Lin of China. We'll follow that tomorrow, of course. Let's get back to Rob and to Ilse with DJ and SS.
Yes, well, Rob and I are perched way up high on a sand dune to the left of the 5th hole, looking out over Sandwich Bay over to Ramsgate, I think. Is that Ramsgate or Margate?
Oh, it's a gate of some kind.
It's a gate, yeah, some gate in the distance, and there's a yacht going there, and I can report that both Scotty Scheffler and Dustin Johnson have missed this par 4 with their second shots. We'll have interesting chips. DJ will be first from the back of the green. Scotty Scheffler has a little bit more grass underneath his ball. Both are 1 over for the day. That's 6 under for the championship. Looks a bit of a standoff. They're both waiting to see who it is that's going to play first. Any ideas, Rob?
Well, I don't know. Emma Cabrera-Bay is alongside us, Rafa's sister. So, Emma, you came out here to be entertained. Are you being entertained?
Absolutely. I think, well, these boys got some good shots to hit now, so definitely looking forward to them.
You said you're expecting big fireworks. We haven't seen them yet. Let's see if Scotty Scheffler could save par from short right of this green with a bit of a thick lie. He missed the first cut. He's got a little hump to carry. He's only 40 feet from the hole. Punches it forward soft with a bit of check, and now it releases, and it's moving towards the hole. Ooh, very good. 4.5 feet for his par.
Yeah, and it'll be Dustin Johnson. His second shot flew right over the top of the flag. It must have looked sensational from where he...
Stone Championship.
Tiger Woods makes St Andrews his home again.
Visit theopen.com now for your chance to witness golfing history. Everything has led to this.
Good news, Sue, for burger fans.
Yeah, back-to-back burgers, back-to-back birdies for Daniel Berger. My goodness me, it's going to be a long day. And so that moves him to 4 under par for the championship. So there is headway to be made for him.
Rupert and Harry were talking about ice creams earlier. I suspect they're now thinking about burgers themselves, but they're watching John Rahm.
Well, we've just watched John Rahm complete with a par, but what we are watching is Cameron Tringali, who's just hit, well, we picked up by coming at the 8th. We saw him hit a fabulous approach shot into 8, but he missed his birdie chance. But without question, he could get back to 5 under here, because he's no more than 7 feet away from the hole, I wouldn't suggest. But he lipped out last time, so can he get something here? And into the putt.
Yeah, no, just misses on the right-hand side. God, that's 2 bad misses in the last 2 greens. 2 great opportunities. So 1 over through his first 9, back to -4, and we'll hand to Robert Neilsby.
And we've just seen Scotty Scheffler roll a putt in from around about 5 feet to save his par, so he stays 1 over for the round, -6 for the championship, as we watch DJ clean up after that lovely chip, Rob.
Yeah, hopefully so, because he's given himself a wonderful opportunity to save himself at 5 after bogeying 4. 2 in a row in the wrong direction would not be ideal. DJ taps in, so good. Got to start rebuilding his round at the very next. A little dinky par 3 6. Back to you.
Got a birdie putt for Andy Sullivan here at the par 5 7th. So it's on its way.
Oh, that just shaved the hole on the high side from Andy Sullivan. It's a really good pace to that putt, but not quite to be for the Englishman, who will stay at 6 under par.
Yeah, he has had a succession of pars so far today after a successive 67 to get him to 6 under par at the halfway stage. He's playing with Marcel Siem, who's had a couple of birdie opportunities and hasn't been able to grab them as yet, but he's had a fantastic week, of course. As we go back to Matty and to Reese, who are, of course, watching Dylan Fratelli and Jordan Spieth.
Where you find us on the par 4, 5th hole, 417 yards. Really unique hole, dogleg to the left, but it's traversed by these huge dunes. And if a player hits their tee shot on the right side of the fairway, which is exactly where both of these gents are, what can they see?
They can't see very much. All they can see is a big dune in front of them. They've got a clean lie, say, on the fairway, but they can't see where they're going, and the green is tucked. Well, it's not tucked, it's exposed, actually down by the coastline here, with a pin position on the right side of the green, but very much into the wind off an upslope. So the key here is to try and keep your ball low and penetrating through this breeze and get it back to this flag.
The flag is perched on the extreme right side of this green, only 6 paces from that edge. And because of the way this hole moves from right to left, the approach shot is playing directly into the wind. And that's the reason why over the last couple of days we've seen many shots coming up short, because once the ball gets over these massive dunes that we are standing atop, it just hits that wall of wind. So Dylan Fratelli has decided, yeah, he's going to change. It's hard for us to tell from here, but it looks like he took less loft from what I could see.
Yeah, it is hard to say. I believe he'd be in the range of a 5-iron here. It's normally speaking, he'd hit a 5-iron well in excess of 200 yards, but because he's off an upslope, because he's into the wind, it's very difficult to keep the ball down. So I'm expecting this to try and fly in as low as possible and chase it back there.
Fratelli's shot is on the way, starting it low, as was the recipe. This one's going left and staying left. It caught the extreme left of the green, but won't hold. Not a bad situation. Likely you'll have a chance to use a putter from there, although it just rolled out to the collar of the first cut. We'll see. Robert and Niels are standing by.
Scotty Scheffler's ball in flight, left to right, left pin. He's a fader. It's a tough flag for him. And he's hit that into the middle of the green. It's 25, moving away, maybe 28 feet from the hole. Not a very makeable putt, man.
Yeah, shot on the way from Jordan Spieth from 182 yards. This one's a much better line, coming in just left the flag, but long, hitting, releasing, spinning. Is a little bit of a drop-off in that part of the green. Catches it. Hasn't stopped moving yet, Eelsey, but he should be able to putt from there. What do you got?
World number 1, tee shot at the par 3-6. Maybe only a 9-iron to go for Dustin Johnson. On its way. Reaches the peak of its flight around about now, coming down. Oh, pitches right by the hole and just goes on some 18 to 20 feet. So we'll have 2 birdie putts coming up in a moment.
Yeah, it's getting very interesting indeed. If you are just joining us, this is the Open Radio. Louis Oosthuizen continues to lead, but now only by 1. He is level through 3. Jordan Spieth has been quick out of the blocks. He's 2 under through 4 at 10 under par. Colin Morikawa has slipped back to 3rd. He is 1 over through 3. Do keep your emails and your tweets coming. radio@theopen.com is our email address. You can tweet us at The Open, hashtag The Open Radio. Hello to Sarah and Sam. They're listening from Muskoka, I believe it is, in Canada. They recently got engaged. They're about to celebrate, and they're enjoying the commentary, so celebrate and keep on listening.
Yes, congratulations.
And Lee Westwood has just finished his 3rd round.
72 today, so the magic wasn't quite there for him as he has a quick chat with his caddy and wife Helen, and they're smiling. They're all smiles. Why wouldn't you smile on a day like this at the Open Championship? But 2 over par, Lee Westwood.
And I think Paul Eales, who's been very loyal to Lee Westwood, he tipped him to win at the start of the week. This morning, despite the fact that he was a fair way back, he said, no, I think we'll make a charge today. I suspect that even Ealesy will have to change horses come tomorrow. Who did you back at the start of the week?
Louis Oosthuizen and Jordan Spieth.
Oh, aren't you clever? Aren't you clever? Let's get back to other clever so-and-sos. Ron and Raimi.
Thank you, Marcus. I'll take that as a compliment. We're just on the right-hand side here, watching Louis Oosthuizen. He's missed the green. He's got the little magic wand out here. Little chip shot up this green. Short-sighted himself a little bit. The ball ball is in the air, nips it beautifully in, little bit of a spin, running it up the slope. Is it going to come back down a little bit? Is it just going to slowly run itself back down to the hole? And a nice little golf shot there from Louis into about 4 or 5 feet. He didn't have an awful lot of green to work with, so a very, very, very confident shot there for Louis, as we've seen a great shot in from Colin Morikawa. Towering iron shot into this very, very firm green pitch, that perfect into a 10-pence piece, stopped it dead, and he's a birdie putt run coming up from around 12 feet.
Round about that, Ray, yeah. Remember, he dropped a shot on the second, but here on the fourth, the 494-yard par 4 fourth, he's got a genuine chance now to pull this back. He's had a good look at it. Inevitably, his caddy is involved. I suspect he must be quite happy with that. They seem to work together. Whereas Louis just gets on with his business. Caddy just supports him. They have a little chat. But now Morikawa's caddy is down on his knees behind the line. They're discussing it. Morikawa is suggesting that it might go a little right to left, maybe. It's slightly uphill. Caddy stands now over the ball as if he was going to putt. It's a bit of a performance, I have to say. Anyone? Quickly go to Matt.
Yeah, from the swale above the par 4 fifth was Jordan Spieth. His ball, remember, went through the putting surface, caught that little bit of a ridge, and went right up against the collar. So he chose a wedge from there, and he put it around about 10 feet.
Thanks very much, Matt. Well, at last, all the work is done. Morikawa now. Wind rustling his shirt. He's putting through his shadow. Here it goes, slightly uphill. Oh, he's missed it on the left. Disappointing. It should be a fairly straightforward tap-in. So he'll get a par, but he stays at 8 under par. And now Louis with a bit of work to do, Ray.
Yes, Louis has a fast right to left putt here. Down the green here. He just puts his ball down on the surface. Has a little look back. Quite a fast player, Louis. Just decides his line, has one quick look and hits a putt. So Louis just walking into it now. Just finalising the line. Rubs the putter with his left hand. Puts his left hand onto his left pocket. Goes into the grip, nice and tall. Hands go up, hands go down. Looks at it. Ball is on its way. Stays really steady and straight. He actually walked that in. What a beautifully confident putt there. Over to you, Matt.
Thank you very much. For Jordan Spieth trying to remain within one of Louis' lead, sending a 6-foot par putt to the hole, and he missed it. He's missed it on the low side, so Robert Nielsen, Jordan Spieth drops back to 9 under.
Well, this is Dustin Johnson for a 2 at the 6th. Austin gave it the 4 fingers. It's a Kit Kat putt up the hill, a little bit of right to left. Has he hit it hard enough, though? Has he hit it? He hasn't. He hasn't. Huge groan from the crowd. That Ilsey covered in people. That hell looks like a giant armadillo.
Yes,
have you seen that?
I am seeing it, and it's a great side, isn't it? Very colourful, and they've been treated to some wonderful, wonderful shots on this par 3-6. It's playing the easiest hole on the course all week so far. And Dustin's over it, taps it in. That will add to the 3 that Scotty Scheffler made as we go to the par 5-7. Both players 6 under par for the championship.
This is the Open Radio. It's 4:45.
Across the world on the Open.com and the official Open app, this is the Open Radio.
Let's catch up on Cameron Tringali and John Rahm with Rupert Bell and Harry Ewing.
Well, Cameron Tringali is playing from probably 20 yards short left of the green here, the elevated green here. He's played a bit of left-right army golf, hasn't he, Harry?
He has, yeah, and he's made a bit of a mess of that as well. There's 2 putt bunkers here left of the green. He had a look, he was going to go upstairs, but he actually decided to go low, and he hasn't actually made the putting surface. And there's only one place that ball goes when you don't make the putting surface, from left of 10, and that's back into one of these putt bunkers. So bad mistake by Cameron Tringali here on 10. He's been 1 over par for his front 9 back on -4. News of John Rando.
Well, John Ram, much better, ripped his drive down. He probably had no more than 100 yards to the hole, and he's actually just gone slightly right. He's got about a 20-footer for a birdie. But for Tringale, I think he's basically had two very good birdie chances on the last two holes, and suddenly that disappointment has played havoc, and he's just chipped out. Oh my goodness me, you can hear the groans. That's a fabulous bunker shot to no more than 6 inches, but acknowledging the cheers of the crowd, but the damage was done, because if you don't find the fairway, you're always in trouble here. But now it's Ram to have a go and get a birdie here. He looks a little bit sort of frustrated. It just hasn't, there's no spark. Yesterday he got it going and felt he got into contention, but today the inconsistencies on that front nine have sort of made it rather difficult for him, and this just might be a nice little morale booster for
good opportunity here from the right hand side of this pin position on 10. 22 feet down the hill, right to left. He's just having one more look. 2 birdies on his front nine on the 2 par 3s, the difficult 3rd hole and the 6th, but momentum killer on number 7. He took 6 on that par 5, but he's over the ball now. Should move slightly from his right hand side. Downhill for the first 6-7 feet, flattens out a bit as it gets to the hole. Takes the putter back, strikes it, ball on the way. Moving down now, right to left. Come on, swing. No, he's missed it. Just missed it on the high side.
He was urging it to drop in, and so were the crowd, staring fixedly onto the 10th, hoping it would drop, but it's not going to be, so it should be a tip. It's a simple tap in. Let's go to Matt.
Thank you very much. You can hear the crowd appreciation for the shot of Dylan Fratelli. It's a tee shot here at the par 3-6, 164 yards today. The hole is perched only 5 paces from the left side, which drops off sharply, and this green is well protected by various pot bunkers. It is 16 paces from the front of the green. 5 holes in, 5 pars in for Dylan Fratelli. 2 birdies and a bogey for Jordan Spieth so far today, taking him back down to 9 under par. Only his 4th bogey for the week. So Jordan Spieth now getting ready to hit his tee shot here at the par 3. Beautiful scene. He's completely framed by one of the grandstands, a kaleidoscope of color from all the fans, taking up every possible seat. Crowds are massive around Jordan Spieth here. He is so globally popular. Shot is on its way for Jordan. Seems like they like it. It's a tough line here, though. Hits in front, bounces up, gets closer and closer. It's hard to tell when the ball's in the air because Jordan's giving it various instructions. Sometimes they contradict one to the other, but one thing that cannot be disputed is that was a brilliant tee shot here. Reezy's left himself yet another birdie opportunity from some 10 feet.
Yeah, just below the hole. Lovely, lovely tee shot from 164. Got quite a simple right centre putt, likely for his birdie, and looking to get that shot. He dropped back on the last hole, back and moving back at the leaderboard.
So, Ron and Raymond, will it be a bounce back out here where we are? Tell us of yours.
Thank you very much, Matt. We're on the top here of the 5th hole here. Louis Oosthuizen's got 188 yards to this back right pin position. So Louis, one last look. Ball is ripped up into this high wind. Looks really good going to the right-hand side of the green. Maybe the wind's taking it a little bit. Ball just jumps right a little bit, comes back to the left, but there's a little pitch shot just up a little knoll to the right-hand side. Quite a good leave. Meanwhile, Ron, we have Colin Morikawa, who really needs a left-handed club here. He is unfortunately come up against the bunker on the left, and his ball is probably only about 2 or 3 feet from that. He's going to have to stand really close, really upright swing. He's going to have to come up with a little bit of creativity here.
Absolutely. It came down the bank, ball rolled off the fairway, and there's a little bank on the left-hand side which leads down to a fairway bunker, and it literally has come up no more than 18 inches from the edge of that bunker. So he's a few practice shots now before he moves into the ball. And remember, this is a blind second shot anyway because of these high sand dunes which really he can't see the green from where he is. So he's come up onto one of the sand dunes now just to take a look at exactly what he's got. But the real problem, Ray, is his stance.
Yes, terrible, terrible stance here. He'll be lucky to get any sort of strike in this at all. In fact, I think himself and the caddy are actually looking at taking a little bit of a lofted club and maybe trying to play a little pull hook, a little hooky thing, try and jump it onto the front of the fairway here and try and run it towards the green. So a lot of deciding going on here. He's standing with most of his weight as forward, so to stop him from falling back into the bunker. He's looking at his caddy, going through the motions here again. He's nearly almost slipped into the bunker on.
He did. On that occasion, back out now, but still swinging away. And I think obviously he's not happy with that sort of situation. But I think he's
really close. He's really close to falling back here. He has to be so careful. This could be quite dangerous here. He seems to have the club. The caddy's moved away. He's in position. He's another quick look. And he hacks one. And he did try to play, and he's hit a straight right. Four! Sorry, I had to shout four. They're almost out of bounds here in the right-hand side, up against the railing, and he's fallen back into the bunker. His pants, everything is full of sand. Oh, I think there's a lot of goings on here, Ron.
Well, dramatic stuff to say the least. But Ray described it perfectly, and he's hit it. The ball virtually went straight. And it's as close to out of bounds as you can get. Let's go to Matt quickly.
Dylan Fratelli for birdie at the par 3, 6th hole, sending it from just outside 15 feet, tracking it. Fratelli gets to 8 under par. Ron, back to you guys.
Thank you, Matty. We're just hobbling along here down into the right-hand side here. The crowd are just congregating on the right-hand side, but very, very, very on this 5th hole here, the Colin Morikawa's ball, another maybe 10 feet here, and that ball could have been over the railings on the right, this fence on the right-hand side here towards the beach, but a tough shot coming up here for Colin Morikawa. Just a really unlucky lie there. Over to you, Reese.
We got Jordan Spieth here lining up his 10-foot birdie putt to get within 1 of the lead. He's over the ball now, he's shuffling his feet. This is a right centre putt. Putter goes back, ball on its way, track it, and in! Jordan Spieth with the birdie. 10 under par, only 1 back of the leader, Louis Oosthuizen, as the crowd really show their appreciation for Jordan. He's very popular out here.
Well, this is fantastic stuff, and I have to say that Sue and I have only just picked ourselves up from under the table after Remy was screaming 4. I've got visions of everybody around the world suddenly ducking. But that's the way to do it on a golf course,
I had my crash helmet on as Andy Sullivan with a birdie putt here on the 8th. Long putt using the borrow up the slope from the left. Not going to double break though, it's not going to track back to the right hand side. So Sullivan stays at 6 under par. But yes, that was wonderful. It was heading towards actually the ambulances, and I'm not joking, at the fringe of the course. That's where that ball was heading. Rather appropriately, it would seem. But anyway, happily it didn't look like it hit anyone. But Remy was all over that. So very, very good work.
Bad news if you're a Cam Smith fan. He had 3 birdies on the front night, but he bogeyed 10 and 11, so he slipped back to -5 in a tie at the moment for 12th place. And Shane Lowry bogeyed 13, so he's back to 3 under, a tie for 24 as we go back to Ron and the 4-man, Ramey.
Thank you, Marcus. I was only trying to help. Everybody was watching the ball. I was the only one that shouted forward, so I was only trying to protect all the spectators here. We see Colin Morikawa having one last look, trying to hack this ball out of the right-hand side here. And the ball is on its way. It comes out quite soft, quite a nice golf shot. Runs up towards the flagstick, and about 10 feet, 12 feet past the flag. A wonderful recovery shot there from Colin Morikawa, Ron.
Oh, it certainly is. I mean, he now has a good opportunity to save his par. As you say, it's 12, 15 feet maybe. But when you consider where he was, I mean, the start of his round, in all honesty, has been difficult for him. He hasn't really got any sort of rhythm yet. As we watch Louis Oosthuizen, who's still out on his own at 11 under, this little chip and run across the green now, and he's played that quite superbly. Just out of the first cut on the right-hand side. And he just goes about his business with this lovely calmness. And I mean, that wasn't easy by any means, but he made it look so easy. Rolled it up literally to within 3 inches. He's now tapped in for his par, and he just goes along as calmly as you like.
Over to you, Harry.
Well, here we've got Tringale has hit a fabulous tee shot into the 11th, playing 245, but what a tee shot. He's no more than 9 feet. That must be one of the shots of the day out here.
Sure is, yeah. Playing very long this hole. It must have been something in the region of a 2 or a 3 iron, but he has it 10 feet just past the hole, putting back down the slope here now. Ball is on its way, tracking towards the hole. No, missed again. These guys are really getting nothing going between them at all. John Ram was over on the right hand side of the green in the bunker, Rupert, and he's a bit of work to do.
He does, and he just looks sort of frustrated. Nothing's happening for him. The body language is one of, well, he's hurrying. He just doesn't look as interested as he should be. Maybe he's feeling he's slipping. Let's go quickly to Raymond.
Thank you, Rob. And Morikawa, 9-footer for par here after all the antics. Sets into it. Claw grip. Has one last look. Ball is on its way. Stays really steady. Has he got it? Has he got it? Oh, and unfortunately for Colin Morikawa, he will drop another shot. He will go to 2 over par for the day and 7 over. Over to you, Rupert.
John Rahm now with that par-saving putt. Let's see if he can get it. Will this be just a settler? Just moving into position.
Yeah, he's just over the ball now. This must be from about 6 feet. Strikes it. It's on its way. No, stays above ground.
Well, this is not good for John Rahm. He just feels it's ebbing away. It's been a lacklustre. Let's go to Robert and Ealsey.
Yeah, we've just witnessed Dustin Johnson. He's making a bit of a pig's ear of this par 5 7th hole. He missed the fairway way to the left, had a horrible lie, hacked out. 195 he had to the pin, missed the green to the left, and played a rather clumsy pitch shot that's actually still not on the putting surface yet, Rob.
No, he looks like a man who's going to make a bogey 6 at a very gettable hole for him today. He could reach this in 2, no problem. And 6 for him, that's going to dampen his fire, because he's already won over the day.
Birdie on the 12th. Par 4th. And Corey Connors drains the birdie putt. That's a lovely, lovely little move from the Canadian on the 12th. 2 birdies in 3 holes, and he moves to 6 under for the championship.
And we've got our unofficial Cannock Challenge, and it's very tight now with Connors and Mackenzie Hughes both at 6 under. Connors, as you mentioned, through 12. And Mackenzie Hughes is 1 under today. He has played 10 holes as we go back to Ealsey and Rob.
Scotty Scheffler having hit a beautiful drive and a wonderful long iron onto around about 18 feet on this par 5. This for an eagle to go to 8 under for the championship. It's on its way. It's breaking from right to left. He's up pretty quickly, and polite applause from this ever-increasing gallery that's following this match. As he goes round, will he tap it in? Yes, this is going to be a birdie 4. That'll take him back to level for the day. 7 under for the championship as we watch the DJ Travails carry on. And back to you, Marcus.
Thank you very much indeed. We're having a slight problem in the booth because some flying... What are they, Sue?
It does look like a mosquito that's pestering us both, unfortunately. We're in grave danger in here. We need Ramey in here to shout fall. Maybe it'll duck under the table.
Yeah, well, anyway, we'll concentrate on the job in hand. If you're just joining us, delighted to have your company wherever you are in the world. Samantha's been in touch listening on the beautiful Siesta Key Beach in Florida. Thoroughly enjoying the commentary by Rhys Davis in particular. What about the rest of us? Let's get back to
Ron Ramey.
Ron and Raymond.
Yes, we're on the 6th, the second of the par 3s, 165 yards, pin cut, 4 in from the left and 19 on. We've just seen Louis Oosthuizen's tee shot, which has gone into the middle of the green or just right of centre of the green safely, but a long 35-foot putt coming up for him. But now Morikawa, who needs to get something going, Ray, doesn't he?
Absolutely. He's 2 over par his round today. Colin Morikawa, 165. Middle of the tee box, white hat. One last look. Beautiful slow backswing. Ball is up into the sky. Lovely and high. It's coming down on the green surface here now. Chips to the right and hits the right hand side. Unfortunately, will fall off the swale and it'll be run down to about 35 feet. So 2 tough putts coming up here on number 6 for both these golfers.
Thank you very much indeed, Ramy. Your call for 4 has been greatly appreciated by Charlie Smith in particular. He says, Ramy's call of Morikawa's wayward bunker shot was utterly fantastic. You must enter it in every radio award going. And well, it was, and we're still just coming back down to earth after all the excitement.
We are. It was brilliant.
Yeah. This is the situation. If you are just joining us, I'm Marcus Buckland. Sue Thurl is alongside me, along with a couple of mosquitoes. In fact, before I give you an update on the leaderboard, we've got to go back to Robert and Ealsey.
Yeah, just to finish off, Marcus at DJ 2 putted for a bogey 6 on the 7th. He's 2 over for the day, 5 under for the championship. Scotty Scheffler, like we say, he made a birdie 4. He's level for the day, 7 under as we go to the par 4 8th. Matt.
Thank you, Ealsey. Back here at the par 5 7th, where Jordan Spieth has 259 yards left from the right side of the fairway. Brilliant tee shot here.
Yeah, he had a great drive down here. Caught the top of the hill and rolled down and gained an extra 20 or 30 yards. He's got a really good opportunity to get this home in 2. He sets up to the ball now. Wind is just lightly blowing off the right hand side and the pin is on the right. Should set up nicely for a big high fade landing in the middle of the green. Starts it down the left. Ball is cutting back towards the flag. Just right of it. Oh, what a great kick off the back of the bunker, running up into the middle of the green. Excellent shot by Spieth. Nestles about 25 feet below the cut, ready for an eagle opportunity.
Jordan Spieth already has 3 birdies on the day against 1 bogey. He has reached 10 under par, and he will have that eagle putt that Reese just described to you coming up here on 7. Meanwhile, Dylan Fratelli, who's coming off a birdie at the last at the par 3, he has 259 left in his second shot here at the par 5.
Yeah, same type of shot from Dylan. He's just a yard or 2 closer to the hole. He's coming in with a hybrid of some sort, more like a driving iron. So he'll look for this shot to come in a little bit lower, quite possibly. He tends to have a quite a low penetrating ball flight in this wind anyway, as well.
There's plenty of run-up space in front of the screen as well. He's 12th on tour in driving distance average at 310. Sending this one on its way, playing it low. This is coming in on a similar line to Jordan's. Goes just past that bunker, but still benefiting somewhat from the ridge in the backside of it. This one's getting closer and closer and better for Dylan Fratelli. Oh my gosh, we're going to have 2 eagle opportunities coming up at the par 5 7th. Fratelli will try to get to 10 under. Jordan Spieth trying to reach the mark of 12 under par. It lies ahead.
Great stuff. It's not necessarily the biggest names that are starring at the moment. This intriguing battle continues to develop hole by hole as we go back to Ron and Ramy.
Yes, we've got Colin Morikawa now with a putt of 45 feet across the green from right to left. We're on the par 3 6, remember. 165 yards. Morikawa has already dropped 2 shots. This one looks good. This one looks really good. Although, in terms of pace, that was absolutely superb, and it's ended up, 18 inches, no more than 2 feet to the right of the flag. Lovely judgment of pace.
Absolutely, and did you notice Louis there just jumping right behind him as soon as he hit the putt? He's on a very similar line, as Ron says, just a little bit of right to left at the start, and then as it dies to the hole, a little bit of left to right. So Louis, who doesn't take an awful lot of time just wiping his putter, that's his routine, puts his left hand onto his pocket, goes up the grip a little bit more, and then goes down the grip, eyes over the ball is on its way, going towards the hole. Has he got it? And just unfortunately, he's raced this one by quite a bit, about maybe 6 feet, Ron.
Yeah, all of that way, I think. That certainly was a little rush of blood by Louis. It was probably, even though he was closer, it's probably slightly more difficult putt than Morikawa had, because he had to go downhill, then it came up, and then flattened out again and slightly downhill towards the hole. Anyway, he's having a look at this. Let's go back to Marcus.
Corey Connors has just come up with another birdie, Sue.
He's making a charge this Saturday afternoon, isn't he? That's 2 in a row for Corey Connors. 3 in 4 holes and 7 under par. He is starting to creep very much into contention.
Yeah, it takes him into a tie for 4th place. Let's go back to more on Louis, struggling just a little, Ron.
Yes, Louis Oosthuizen has just got about an 8-footer, 6-footer here for par, straight towards the hole, and he rams it straight into the middle of the hole. And Louis has putted beautifully today, Ron. He's held out really, really well.
He's one of the best holer outs that I've ever seen, I think. You know,
Well, I think that's recognised in the stats. He's number 1 or 2 putter in the world at the moment.
So another par. Louis, after 6 holes of his 3rd round, is still 11 under and still the leader of the 149th Open Championship. Now Morikawa from 2 feet for his par to stay at 7 under, and that goes in as well. So Morikawa 7 under. He's dropped 2 shots, but Louis Oosthuizen hasn't dropped a single shot today. Hasn't made a birdie yet either, of course, but he is 11 under and still leads.
Thank you, Ron. Been a disappointing day for Tommy Fleetwood, Sue.
Yeah, we just saw him with a birdie opportunity, didn't we? But it just came up a fraction short. And like so many of the players out there this afternoon, it isn't really happening at the moment, is it? But it is, I think, where Matty Adams is.
It is indeed for Jordan Spieth. He's already had 3 birdies against 1 bogey, and now he's looking at an eagle putt from just outside of 25 feet. If converted, Jordan Spieth will become the leader of the 149th Open. The putt that he's facing has a little bit of movement to the right, and there's more drama and significance after this as well, because Dylan Fratelli is 8 feet away for eagle, and he could get within 1 of the lead. Jordan Spieth sending the putt on its way, sliding to the right, go, catches a ridge at the end. Oh, it just hangs on the edge for Jordan Spieth. So surely a birdie will be forthcoming for Jordan. I'm curious if he's going to step up and just take care of his business right now. He's going to. So in 1 second, done. Jordan Spieth is now tied for the lead in the 149th Open. And Dylan Fratelli has an opportunity to get within 1 shot here.
Dylan Fratelli is going to be having an eagle chance from around about 8 feet. But most significantly, he's going to have to putt on the exact same line that Jordan Spieth just rolled his ball on. The ball went straight across. Dylan had to move his ball marker two putter heads to the left, and very courteously Jordan Spieth just reminded him to put it back so there wasn't a penalty stroke. He crouches now down behind the hole, having a look at the putt from all angles, and this putt is a straightforward putt that will be just around about the right edge, maybe just outside, depending on how firmly he wants to hit it.
Huge opportunity here for Dylan Fratelli. He's acquainted himself so well, finished so strong yesterday, and has kept it going here today. Birdie on the last. Opportunity to go a minimum of birdie, but this is a lot bigger than that. This could be an eagle putt here to get within 1 shot of the lead.
Dylan's in here now. He likes to take a practice stroke behind the ball while he faces the hole, but then when he moves in quickly, nestles the putter behind the ball, shuffles his feet slightly, 1 look at the hole, putter back, ball on its way out to the right, swinging to the left. No, it doesn't. It dives across, maybe lacking a little bit of pace. But Dylan Fratelli taps in for the easy birdie 4 and moves up to 9 under par with back-to-back birdies.
He is alone in 3rd place.
Yes, he is. Let's just clarify the situation because it is changing all the time, as you'd expect on moving day at the 149th Open Champion. We now have joint leaders. Jordan Spieth and Louis Oosthuizen are both 11 under par after 7 and 6 holes respectively. As we've just heard, Dylan Fratelli has moved into 3rd place on his own, 2 under today, 9 under in total after 7. And then we have 4 players on 7 under: Corey Connors, Justin Harding, Scotty Scheffler and Colin Morikawa.
Just want to make a point, Marcus, about some of the scoring this afternoon and some of the big names struggling. Sergio, 3 over, back to level par. Lee Westwood, a 72, back to evens for the championship. Tony Finau, 2 over, back to +/- 2 for the championship. Brooks Koepka, 2 over, back to 3 plus, 3 under for the championship. I beg your pardon. John Rahm is also struggling. He's dropped a shot today. DJ has dropped a couple today as well, back to 5 under, and Morikawa we're watching as well. So the big names who really sparkled yesterday are struggling today, and it's really noticeable the afternoon starters, perhaps not as prolific as the earlier starters today.
No, well, the breeze has got up just a little bit, but essentially it's glorious conditions, so it's very interesting to monitor the scoring and to see how it develops. We have had some good scores, though. A reminder that Kevin Streelman came in with a 66 today to take him to 5 under, a tie for 11th place. Webb Simpson is in with a 67. He's back to 5 under. Robert McIntyre, still the best round of the day, a 65. He's at 4 under in a tie for 19th with Jason Kokrak, who had a 4 under 66 as well. Let's get back to Harry.
Back of this 12th green, John Rahm, just one more practice putt. One last look to the hole. Sets into his position now, just wiggles his feet, gets comfortable, and here we go. Pulls the putter back, strikes the ball, rolls it towards the hole, and he holds it. Well done, John Rahm. Great birdie on 12. That will bring a smile to his face at long last, Rupert, and he's back to even par for the day and -5 for the championship.
He needed that, and there's a smile at last in the galleries here. Well, is that going to be the forward move from John Rahm now? Back to 5 under par.
Yeah, just when we were starting to write him off.
Here he comes. Danny Willett in trouble down the 13th. Hit his drive out of bounds. We saw an eagle from him on the 10th, a 2 on 10. But he is about to go into reverse and then some on 14.
Loving all your emails and your tweets, and I can only apologise, but so much is happening out on the links here at Royal St George's that we don't have a chance to read too many, well, to read out too many of them. We do read them all, and hello to Lily, who's been in touch, says, loving the commentary, it's keeping us entertained and occupied on our journey from Dublin to Mulranny in Mayo. Please say hi to Lily, Alex, Zach, and our daddy Owen, who's making us listen to the golf, and also to all of the Teague cousins who we will be with shortly. Can you make sure, please, that the Teague cousins listen to us as well? Back to Rob and to Ealsey.
I can tell you that Dustin Johnson, after almost a semi-shank off the tee, had 230 yards into the back pin position at the 8th. Missed the green front left, at least 30 yards short of the pin with a bunker to go over, a raised up piece of green, and the back half of this green then drops down. It's lower at the back than it is at the front, and he landed on the downslope. He had no shot whatsoever. He has an outside chance of making par, though, because his ball's finished about 17 feet from the hole, so he'll have to hold that if he doesn't want to drop another shot.
And meanwhile, Scotty Scheffler had a nice tee shot down the right side of the fairway, so perfect going into this back left-hand pin, has underhit his second shot, and he's now going to have to put this ball off the green to get it back on, to get it near the hole. Ronan Ramey.
Thank you, Ealsey. As we see Morikawa hit from 294, what a wonderful golf shot. Wow. Stunning, superb golf shot right down the pipe, about 20 feet short of the flag, right on line, and he'll have an eagle putt coming up here in number 7. Meanwhile, Louis Oosthuizen is 20 yards further down the fairway, around 274 to the flag.
Well, that shot of Morikawa, it's his shot of the day. It's maybe anyone else's shot of the day too. Fantastic, really is. And he's in great position, as Raymond was saying, for his eagle putt. He needs that badly. He's 7 under, but Oosthuizen from 274, right-hand side of the fairway. This lovely, languid, easy swing. There it is. Looks good. Looks good. It's heading for the green. Oh, there it is. It's pretty much as good as Morikawa's, just to the right of the pin, maybe slightly further back than Morikawa's, but 2 wonderful shots and eagle putts for both Oosthuizen and Morikawa coming up here on 7.
Yeah, some key moments in the next few minutes. We'll be there for those. The time here is 5:15.
Across the world on the Open.com and the official Open app, this is the Open Radio.
Daniel Berger for a birdie on 16. Towards the hole and into the hole from Daniel Berger. He's just starting to make a little move, tickling his way along nicely. He was 1 over for his front nine, but 3 under for the back 9. 5 under for the championship, Marcus.
Yeah, looking better all of a sudden for him. Terrific email from Brian Sweeney, which I will read out in a moment, but Robert and Ilse, they're demanding, they want us to go back to them.
Yes, on the 8th green, looking at Dustin Johnson, already had 2 bogeys today. This long-range par putt for him on the 8th. Oh, and it just goes by. So that's a bogey on the 4th, a bogey on the 7th, and now another bogey on the 8th as Dustin Johnson slips back to 4 under for the championship.
Well, you mentioned that Danny Willett was in trouble, Sue.
Yeah, it's a 6 for Danny Willett on the 14th. He hated his drive as soon as he hit it off the tee, and it just shanked into the out of bounds, and he couldn't find the recovery he wanted, and so he moves back to 5 under par.
I mentioned that email from Brian Sweeney in Virginia. He says, every year on Thursday of the Open, we would take our Irish setter, Josh, for a long drive, hike and picnic, all the while listening to you and loving every minute of it. His last full day with us was his 16th birthday, which was also the final day of the 2015 Open won by Zach Johnson. This past Thursday, we again went on that same annual drive, and I'll give you the second half of that story in a moment, but back to Robin Ilse.
Scotty Scheffler for his par at the 8th after making a really good birdie at 7. This to just keep him level par for the day, but there's room to improve if you can stay even. 4 feet back and through, and that one is in. Good 2-putt. Another bogey for Johnson.
Going back to Brian, who says this past Thursday we again went on that same annual drive, hike and picnic, listening to you and again loving it. Accompanying us was our new Irish setter. We appropriately named him Zach. Thank you for your coverage. Love the golf, the banter in between. Please don't ever change. Thank you, Brian in Goodview, Virginia. Let's get back to Ron and Ramey.
What a lovely story. I have to say that I remember well that Zach Johnson win playoff, of course, which involved Louis Oosthuizen as well. So 3-way playoff, Zach Johnson, Mark Leishman, Louis Oosthuizen and Zach Johnson, as the storyteller rightly says, won it. Now then, to business here on the first of the par 5s. There are only 2. This is the only one on the front 9. So we're on the 7th, 572 yards, and we've seen 2 quite wonderful approach shots, and both eagle opportunities, Raymond.
It's both shots right out of the top drawer, Ron. Beautiful high turning shots in here. So we now are looking at Colin Morikawa from no more than 20 feet for eagle. He's currently -7 for the tournament. 2 over for today. Wipes the putter with his left hand. Same routine all the time. One last look. Steps in. Left hand, left pocket. Puts the paws onto the putter. Drops the right hand into the claw position. Has one last look. Stays still over the ball. And the ball is on its way, trundling down towards the hole. Has it got there? Has it got there? It's turning into it. Ooh, and what a fantastic putt. Just ran out of speed a little bit there, Ron. So Louis from the right hand side, as we see Colin just come up, tap that little putt in. He will move to 8 under par for the championship. Consolidate a little bit. So Louis from the right hand side, probably 15 feet, Ron?
Yeah, just a little closer than Morikawa, obviously. And he'll be putting through his shadow, or his shadow through the ball. Not that that will worry him too much. But Louis now level at the top of the leaderboard with Jordan Spieth. Hasn't yet had a birdie, but they've been pars all the way, first 6 holes. Morikawa's pulled one back. He goes back, as Ray was saying, to 8 under. But all the attention now on Louis Oosthuizen. Settles over the putt, doesn't waste much time. Once he's done all his work, knows exactly what he's doing. Little bend at the knees, and off goes the ball. He stays down on it. It's going to be close. Big swing from right to left, and it's just gone past the hole, and it's going to give him just a little bit of work, Ray.
Just a little bit of tidying up. Just overhit that one, overhit the runway a little bit.
as Louis just meanders around the right hand side here, just tapping down a little spike mark or something on the surface.
Of course, you're allowed to do that these days, but I think it's close enough for him. Well, he is going to mark it. I was going to say it certainly isn't a tap in, but I don't think, well, the way he's been holding out, it really shouldn't give him too much trouble. So here he is now with this little one coming back, squats down behind it, has to give it all his attention. This is for birdie to take him back into the outright lead at 12 under par. Oosthuizen, familiar routine which Ray has described so well, wipes the putter, hand on his pocket, hands at the top of the club first of all, slides them up and down, just gets comfortable, and in it goes. He really does hold out so well. That was from about 4 feet, but it's a birdie for Oosthuizen, birdie for Morikawa. Oosthuizen is 12 under, now the outright leader, Morikawa 8 under.
Yeah, the situation gets ever tighter at the top, but Oosthuizen nudges his nose in front at 12 under as Ron said, with Jordan at 11, Dylan Fratelli 9, Corey Connors at 8, he's 4 under through 14 today. Colin Morikawa's not had a great day, he's 1 over, of course, 8 under overall. Marcel Siem still in the picture, 1 over through 10 at 7 under, and that's the same score for Scotty Scheffler. As we go back to Matty and Reese.
Yeah, the prospect of staying at 11 under was very much in question here at the par 4 8th for Jordan Spieth. His drive went left into the deep rough on that left side. He had 226 yards left from there in a terrible lie. Now, the way this 8th hole is designed is that it has a plateau fairway that descends into a valley of these low rolling dunes that are covered with fescue. The only path between it is one cut for the players. So Jordan, from that terrible lie, had an option of at least 175 yards to carry these covered dunes, and he didn't. He actually hit the side of the facing dune on the right side, but it propelled itself forward, left himself about 15 feet from the front of the green, and from there he hit this lovely little pitch to about 4 feet to save par and remain at 11 under. In fact, when Michael Greller, his caddy, and Jordan were walking up the pathway, I was the only one standing here, and he said, "Where is it?" And I pointed to his ball, and he said, "Where did it pitch?" I said, "It pitched on the front of the face." So I wonder if they were trying to confirm something that they were discussing back there, but they couldn't see what we could from the position that we're in. Robert, let's go to you quickly here.
Scotty Scheffler, beautiful tee shot down the left-hand side of 9, 136. This wedge shot low, punched and cutting towards a pin that you cannot miss on the right. So it's a big place for him, a bit of grip and release, and that was right on line. It's maybe 15, 16 feet short. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you very much, Robert. Dylan Fratelli now from the right side. This is his 3rd shot here at the par 4. How is this lie?
His lie is pretty good. He's on the edge of a grassy knoll, but he's played it low. It's scooting out across the green, chasing out closer and closer. That's a well-played shot. Stops about 3.5 feet or so for his par. So both players battling here on the 8th, but both players have similar length putts for their par.
Yeah, and where we stand right now is that Jordan Spieth is 11 under par. Dylan Fratelli is 9 under par. Back to you guys, Robert and Nielsen.
Dustin Johnson's second shot into the 9th, as Robert was describing, cannot go right of this flag. Ball's on its way. And, as we said, left of the flag. Good for distance, but around about 18 feet or so for birdie here on 9. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. We're out here at number 8. Work to do. There's a little bit of gardening going on. The players are pacing and prowling on all sides of the hole. Great to observe and to watch for anyone who plays the game of golf, that the best players in the world make sure that they see their putts from every side of the hole, north, south, east, and west. It will be Dylan Fratelli first. Remember, his second shot narrowly, it's so much nuance in links golf, isn't it? Narrowly avoided a pot bunker that traverses this green. Right in the middle of it, bisects it really, and the right side. But somehow he avoided it. Somehow fate said no. And from there, he hit his 3rd shot to, I'd say, what, 5 feet?
Yeah, about 5 feet. He's putting from the back of the green, slightly back towards the front. And one of the interesting things here, he might have, his shadow might be something that would bother him slightly. It's in a slightly awkward position where he'll have to put through it ever so slightly. But he's into the ball now. He's taking his practice stroke. And I say he's got a 5-footer here to save his par, which will be a good result after a poor tee shot. Ball's on its way, and it drops. Excellent scrambling from Dylan Fratelli. He is 2 under for the round, -9 in total, and currently 3 back of the leader, Louis Oosthuizen.
And the ever-entertaining Jordan Spieth has an opportunity to save par here and maintain a great round. He has had 4 birdies today, folks, if you're just joining us, through 7 holes and 1 bogey to offset. So 3 under in the day's efforts. He has reached the top of the leaderboard, an 11 under par company that he shares currently. Will he stay there? Well, it depends on what happens with this little putt. It's just about 4 feet. Sometimes these slip away from Jordan. A little soul-searching distance here as a seagull flies over and to the left, unbeknownst as to the drama beneath him. Back through. It's in for Jordan Spieth. What a par save out here at 8. He remains at 11 under for Telly, is 9 under par.
Yeah, birdies are important, but sometimes solid pars can be just as significant at this stage in an Open Championship. Now, a couple of players we should update you upon. First of all, we mentioned Tommy Fleetwood, who has finished 2 under for a tie for 34th. Corey Connors is on the charge, Sue.
Oh my goodness me, he's caught fire at the turn, so he's got 4 birdies in 5 holes on the back 9, so that is 10 through 14, and that's propelled him to 8 under par, to Ilse and Robert.
Scotty Scheffler for birdie on 9, understandably coming up short of this pin position. A little bit of right to left on this one. The ball is on its way, travelling, and oh no, good pace, but just dies to the left of the hole, but that'll be a tap in 4. Level par front 9 for Scotty Scheffler. He stays at -7 for the championship and still very, very much in the hunt here. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Scotty Scheffler hanging in, and it's not been the round quite that he anticipated, but it hasn't been a disaster by any means. This is the Open Radio. It's 28 minutes past 5.
You can be part of some of golf's most influential fans by joining the One Club for free today. As a member, you'll be the first to secure your place at golf's original major, with priority access to tickets and hospitality at future Open Championships, including the 150th Open at St Andrews next year. Be part of the Open. Be part of the One Club. Join us today at theopen.com.
Cameron Smith has just birdied the 14th to get himself back on track. He had a couple of bogeys in succession on 10 and 11. And Marcel seems still hanging around, Sue.
Absolutely, I was just going to mention him because with the deepest respect to him, he plays his golf on the Challenge Tour. You wouldn't have thought he would be up there to Rob and Ilse quickly.
Johnson just to make something happen. 15, 16 feet straight up the hill at the 9th, putting towards the crowd on the right-hand side, and they have, oh dear, dear, dear. They thought they were going to have something to cheer about. It's just one of those days so far for DJ. Back to you.
Thank you, Robert. As we see Morikawa down the left-hand side here, both players are 202 yards out. Morikawa is on the left-hand side of the fairway here, playing away from the flagsticks. His flagsticks 38 on and 5 from the right, 4 from the right. So you see the ball high up in the sky, looks out to the right hand side here as I'm looking across, and unfortunately, oh, what a lovely bounce. What a beautiful little bounce. Hits a little bit of local knowledge there, Ron, but that ball is finished quite well, about 25 feet pin high on the right hand side.
Well, I thought for just a moment it was going to be even better, Raymond, because it started to make its way round, and there is a little bit of a downhill there. And with just a little more momentum, it would have gone and fed down towards the flag.
And Louis Oosthuizen from the right hand side, perfect angle, 202 yards. He's played wonderful golf all day. Swish, and ball is in the air, high, going down to the, of course, right in the middle of the green. What a wonderful golf shot. Comes around, curls around, 10 feet from the hole. What beautiful, beautiful golf Louis played here today. And he will be left with a 12-footer for birdie here on number 8 to get to 13 under par.
Well, all he has done, Louis Oosthuizen, is continued the work he's done over the past 2 days, right from the start. Remember, he shot a 64 on Thursday on the first day, and then almost equaled it yesterday with a 65. So far, throughout the week, he's just had one bogey. Had one bogey on the 16th yesterday. Otherwise, and you can see from that shot, Ray, that he's in prime form, playing at his very best. But it's just his wonderful calmness. We all know about this great golf swing, and Just wonder whether the swing is maybe a reflection on this lovely, calm personality he has, you know.
He doesn't even break sweat. He just tipples along lovely, just walks along lovely and quietly. Over to you, Marcus.
Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, he's such a cool customer, isn't he? Just to wrap up things with Marcel Seam that Sue was updating us on.
Birdie on the 10th, so he is 7 under par, and he's got a birdie chance on the 11th. Marcel Seam, long putt up the slope. Got a bit of right to left and then a bit of left to right, and it's coming towards the hole, and it just comes up a little shy, but the German is 7 under par.
Yeah.
What's happening with John Rahm, I wonder?
Yeah, John Rahm has just played a fabulous approach shot into the 14th. It's Mill Pond calm out here. Brittle or no breeze, 255 yards. Just what he needs to find maybe an eagle here, Harry.
Yeah, possibly great shot from John Rahm. Split the fairway with his tee shot, a long iron off the tee, slight breeze behind, but really nothing to talk about here. Great second shot in on the right hand side of that flag, and he has a look from about 30 feet for eagle here, so needs something to happen. This John Rahm is not out of this tournament yet, but he really needs to start finding some birdies on the remaining 5 holes.
And what we've seen is just peaks and troughs. There's been some good bits, and then he's really got a little bit frustrated, particularly after he hit his chip shot into the 13th. The club was getting a little bit of tension on the club after he played it. I feared for the club for a brief moment, but he composed himself and actually came away with a good solid par. He's playing alongside Cameron Tringali, who, frustratingly for him, has been playing some wonderful stuff tee to green, but the putter is as cold as ice. He just hasn't done anything, but he's gone beyond Rahm. Ball's on its way now. We look towards the green into the sun. Let's see if he too has found the green. Just not a lot of people.
Just on the very front edge, yeah, just on the front edge, but not much happening for Cameron Tringale. He's 2 over so far through 13 holes, and we're going to pop to Matt and Reese.
Thank you very much, where we can report that Jordan Spieth is in trouble again off the tee. This time at the par 4 9th, he has but 99 yards to the front of the green, 128 to the hole. But on the right side, tell the world, what's that lie look like?
Yeah, it's pretty deep. It's down at the base of the grass, and he's only got 128 to the hole, though. That's in his favour, which means he can get a lot of loft in the club and get quite steep into the back of it. Expect him to get steep on this, dig out a lot of grass, a lot of divot, and get the ball flying high in the air. He's got 99 yards to the front of the green, and that'll be roughly, I think, where he'd be looking to pitch it, because this ball's going to come out with a lot of topspin.
Plenty of challenge on this hole when you get to the green itself. It's got swales and just waves all the way through it, and a deep fall off on the right side. He takes this one to the left of the trouble, hits on the front of the green to the first swale, over it, rolling down now to the safe flat of the green. Really an incredibly smart play for Jordan Spieth here on number 8. So he's 2 putts away for remaining on 11 under par as we turn our sights to Dylan Fratelli. He has 118 to the flag, split the fairway with his drive. He is on 9 under par. Jordan Spieth is on 11 under par as Fratelli gets ready to hit this one.
Yeah, he's got, as Matt said, he's got 118 pins on the right side of the green, and but a very, very significant nasty swale to the right of the pin. He must not go there as the ball's on its way. Asking it to go a bit, it does. It comes up short and spins back to the middle of the green as we go over to Ron and Raymond.
Yeah, Oosthuizen has a birdie putt which he just misses on the left-hand side, but important to report that Colin Morikawa holed the most wonderful, wonderful putt from right to left across the green. It was all 25, 30 feet maybe, downhill most of the way. We watched it all the way, and in it went. So Morikawa is back where he started this morning, early this afternoon. He's 9 under par, 2 bogeys early on, but 2 consecutive birdies have pulled him back to 9 under. Oosthuizen remains at 12 under.
So the leading South African continues to do the business. If you're wondering about Daniel van Tonder, who had such a very good first couple of days, well, I'm afraid he's had an absolute shocker today. He is 6 over through 10, which has taken him back to level par and a share of 43rd place. And just a reminder that although we've got lots of scores in red, it is very easy to get into trouble on this course. Shane Lowry has just come up with back-to-back bogeys. That's taken him to a tie for 10th place. He's 1 under through 17 and 5 under for the championship. Same score for Ryan Fox as well. So the scoring seems to be getting better, but if you get in the wrong places at the wrong times, as Van Tonder will tell you, you will post a very large score. Hello to Dan, who's listening to our wonderful coverage from his girlfriend's place in Abbotsford, British Columbia in Canada. Says she's sleeping in, and I was sure the dramatic 4 from Ramey was going to wake her up. But she is still sleeping soundly as I continue to enjoy your captivating broadcast from the west coast of Canada. Back to Harry and Rupert.
Alex John Rahm with an eagle putt. I think we might have to say it's an outside chance because he's going right across the green, having hit a pretty decent approach shot from 255 yards. And I have to say, this will be a good putt. There'll be a big roar if it goes in.
Yeah, it is a bit of an outside chance, a bit further than my 30 feet previously quoted, but still reasonably flat putt the whole way across the screen, and the mood John Rahm is in, I'm sure he's going to give it a go. So here we go, the ball is on its way, moving up through a swale and moving right to left now. Is it there? Yeah, lovely putt, just up along hole side. Good solid 4 from John Rahm. He'll tap that one in. It's very close to the hole's edge. And we'll just hop over to Matt and Reese.
Thank you very much. Dylan Fratelli just had a 28-foot birdie attempt here at the 9th from a swale on the right side of where the hole is cut. It jumped down to the left, took a big movement from right to left, and stayed above ground. So what he has left, which is short business, will be to remain at 9 under par, currently 3 shots off the pace. However, Jordan Spieth, who is 11 under, will Reese once again have an opportunity to be tied atop the leaderboard.
Yeah, this is a very good opportunity. It's a putt of around 25 feet, straight back up the hill, up the 4 line. There won't be much sideways movement in this putt. It'll be all about the right pace. If Jordan can get the right pace, he'll have an excellent chance of holding it. He's in now, the putter goes back, the ball is on its way, looks to have good speed running up the hole, but no, stays above ground. That was a severely uphill putt, and indeed it did stop just short on line. So Jordan Spieth makes his par, stays in second position on -11.
1 shot off the pace, and Dylan Fratelli's putt, as I mentioned to you, that caught the ridge and just dropped down to the left, has left him with some work here to save his par to remain at 9 under. He is 2 under on his efforts today. I've been really impressed with how well Dylan Fratelli played. A couple years ago, he was a late entry into this Open. He won the John Deere Classic, which is the week prior on the PGA Tour, and made his way to Royal Portrush, and here he is very much in the mix. He's crouched down now. He has a white billed cap on, and he puts his hands on each side of it in order to block out as much light as possible to see the line. And this one looks like it's a little bit uphill too.
Yeah, a little bit uphill, a little bit from right to left. It's only, 3 feet or so, but he's given it a lot of attention and care, and there's a large crowd around this green waiting for it. But, yeah, knocks it in safely, stays 9 under par, 3 behind the leader, Louis Oosthuizen.
Joyce has been in touch with the headline Moose and Golf, which had me intrigued. She says, loving your British banter while driving home from Northern Maine looking for moose. So moose viewing and the Open on the radio, kind of a perfect day. Sue?
It certainly is. Good point at which to point out Corey Connors has just generated another birdie chance on the 16th. Couldn't take it, but he remains 4 under for his round and 8 under for the championship, with a couple more holes to play to Rob and Ealsey.
Well, here on the 10th green, we're looking at the world #1, who really is having a tough day. He's played 3 shots onto this short par 4 already. And how's he managed that, Rob?
He's just playing awfully today. He's just playing his way out of this championship, Dustin Johnson. It was there for the taking. 7 under par, mid-60s yesterday. Let's go. Green light. Saturday, 3rd round, handbrake off. It's been all of those, but not for DJ. So this is uphill. A little bit of movement in it for his par 4. Scotty Scheffler has a very makeable downhitter. It's a quick one for a 3. If Dustin Johnson misses this, he slips to 4 over par for this round on what is a perfect links day. So back and through up the hill. Is he going to hold the putt? Is he going to find the putt? No, it stays above. ground. It does not drop down. He is 4 over for the day. That languid, lanky walk is looking more pronounced now, and the shoulders have slumped a bit, and even Dustin Johnson looks disappointed.
Yeah, 3 successive bogeys for DJ. Now, that's not correct. Now, he made a par at the 9th. He was out in 38, 3 over, and starts for home with a bogey. Now, Scotty Scheffler is played nice and tidily. He bogeyed the 2nd, birdied the 7th, and now he has a chance to go 1 under for his round. That would take him to 8 under for the championship. It was a nice pitch in from just over 100 yards, pitched beyond the flag, spun back, but now he's got a quick putt coming back down the green toward the front of the green from around about 10 feet. It's absolutely not a breath of wind out here now. The flags are just standing limp. Caddy standing to one side. He's allowed to take the flag out. No COVID restrictions on flag attending this week. Scotty's over the ball now. White cap, white shirt, white shoes, putter back through. It's on its way. Does he like it? Does he like it? Does it go? No, it doesn't. It doesn't go in, but that'll be a par 4. Ron and Raymond.
Yes, thanks, Paul. We're on the 9th. Second shot for Louis Oosthuizen from the left centre of the fairway. And away it goes. Looks good, looks good. In for the centre of the green. Oh, again, it's a wonderful approach shot. Just filtering down, and it's about 12 feet from the hole. He really is in prime form at the moment. That was lovely.
Flawless golf from Louis. As we see Colin Morikawa from 21 yards further up this tight 9th fairway. Going through his paces here with his caddy. The pin is 9 from the right, 29 on, and he's got 115 yards to this back right flag position. On the right hand side of the screen there's a big fall off, so you've got to hit it into the left hand side of this flag. You can spin it a little bit and then let it meander down to the hole. That is the perfect shot. And so let's see how Colin Morikawa goes through this. He's talking to his caddy again. Caddy is always, and caddy nods, no, that's not it. He's now lifted his leg for some reason. Right, okay. Now we're in position. Colin Morikawa into a stance. Beautiful posture. Hands forward. Ball, middle of the stance. There's one look. One last look. Beautiful smooth backswing, and the ball is in the sky, towering high towards the left-hand side of the flag stick. Is it going to get up? Spins back a little bit. Unfortunately, a little bit of a misjudgment there, so he will be left with about a 25-30 footer down the hill here, left to right for a birdie on the 9th.
Something you're going to have to explain to me now, Ray. Morikawa lifted his right leg and flexed his knee, and his caddy did exactly the same 2 seconds later.
That's glute activation. Do you not do that wrong when you play?
No. Right, we'll wait until they get up on the green and we will have putts for you. They both have birdie putts, and Louis Oosthuizen, our leader at the moment, has a very makeable birdie to come.
Yeah, well, Ron, it's very important to activate your glutes, so you better get started. An email from Dan says, I'm enjoying your coverage, driving to Ohio from New York today. I'm convinced if you manage to make it to the pearly gates, Sue's voice will be the one that greets you.
Oh, that's very nice.
And I reckon that Ramy and Harry's will be the one that then leads you into the heavenly bar.
I think they might be, especially if Ramy as well is there too to shout for.
Well, do keep your tweets and your emails coming. Great to hear from you wherever you are in the world. It's bubbling up very nicely. It isn't easy out there, though. Just having a quick look, Sue, at some of those who've struggled today. Kevin Kisner, 8 over for the day, to be 7 over for the championship. Ricky Fowler, +5 today. Some other big names that struggled were Padraig Harrington, 3 over. So he didn't exactly enjoy himself, although he had a decent end to his round. Bryson DeChambeau, he couldn't get things going either. Likewise, Billy Horschel and Adam Scott and Xander Schauffele. Back to Rob and to Ailsey.
And we just watched the ball of Scotty Scheffler on this par 3 11 go into the front left-hand bunker. The tee is back, so it's playing at its limit this week. Well, certainly today at 238 yards. Yesterday the tee was forward only 180 odd yards, so they've gone all the way back. Now, Dustin Johnson. Rob, he needs to get something going here very quickly.
He does. He's running out of time in his third round, and this is not a birdie hole. Par's a great score. Like this 11th, Dustin gives it a rip. He's trying to cut a 3-iron in here if he can. Looks like it's going left. Where's that gone?
That's gone in the second bunker on the left, and it looked like it plugged from here on the back lip. That looks awful for Dustin Johnson. We'll go and have a look, and back to you on the report.
And we'll go straight back to Ron and Raymond.
Thank you, Marcus. As we have Morikawa here, who's just gone through all his paces here. He has his 25-footer down the slope on hole number 9 for birdie. Has one last look. Has another quick little look, actually. Hands forward, ball is on his way. Going down towards the hole. Is it quite firm at the hole? Has he got it there? And a fantastic putt there. Almost got there, just ran out a little bit of speed. We'll just tap that one in for 4 and remain at 9 under par for the championship, heading to the back 9 here in Royal St George's. As we see Louis, who once again, Ron, just hit a top drawer golf shot in here to no more than, what, 6 feet?
Round about that, maybe just marginally more, but not very much more. We are a little bit foreshortened because we're back down the fairway, but it's a very makeable putt. 4 birdie for Louis. 1 birdie so far on his front 9. He had a birdie on the 7th. So he's improved his overnight 11 under to 12 under and leads. But he now is ready. Doesn't really waste very much time. Now then, this one forward, and in it goes from Louis Oosthuizen. Wonderful putt. Absolute certainty. And he goes to 13 under par and extends his lead at the top of the Open leaderboard. Over to Matt.
I find it interesting that as that cheer rose up behind him, Jordan Spieth was approaching his ball here on the right side of the fairway at the 10th, and he looked back to see what's going on. Really interesting. It's hard for the players not to know if they are so inclined, because there are these massive digital Open leaderboards spread out around the course. For Jordan Spieth, he had a perfect drive here at the 10th. He's left himself 104 yards to a pin that's been cut just above a very sharp false front here, Reese. And this is an interesting exposed green in this 10th, because from where he is, it is all uphill, and it is to a wind that is from the left and slightly in.
It is. He's got a great angle here. He's got a golden opportunity with such a short wedge in his hand to put one in close. As Matt said, the key here is to not be short. If you're short, the ball will repel off the green a good, possibly 15 or 20 yards. So look for this to pitch past the flag with a little bit of spin to bring back to the hole. He's in now. Makes good solid contact. The ball is on the line just right of the flag. Pitches just past the hole. Good amount of spin. Lovely distance control. Got a 15-footer back down the slope.
Really smart play indeed. Okay, Dylan Fratelli now, other side. 94 yards semi-rough. How's his lie?
Yeah, his lie's good. He's on a slight up slope. Ball slightly above his feet, which will help him move the ball into the left flag. But the lie is very clean as he crouches down and eyes this one up, Matt.
Out in 2 under for the day, 9 under for the championship. Yeah, it's just on a slight downslope where he is. Sending it 4th. This one looks like it's good distance control too. Going to come in just inside, pitch just inside of Jordan's, and spinning and stopping about 12, 13 feet for birdie there. Here's where we stand. Fratelli is 9 under par. Jordan Spieth is 11 under.
Good stuff, guys. Thank you very much indeed. I was just having a little look, checking on the progress of Brooks Koepka, because we haven't really heard much about him. The reason for that is he's not doing very much, unfortunately. 1 over for his round today. After the 14th, 4 under for the championship. The same is true of Paul Casey, just not happening for him today either. 1 over today, 4 under for the championship through 13 holes. Emiliano Grillo, 2 over today, 4 under for the championship. So again, it's just an indication of how some of the bigger names, who this time yesterday, Marcus, we couldn't praise highly enough because they were all coming to the boil quite nicely, and today things have gone a little more tepid.
Yeah, and it's so hard to make real predictions because everyone was raving with regards to Dustin Johnson after his round yesterday, so you look to him with real expectation. And he's had a bit of a shocker. Brooks Koepka again with those 2 early bogeys has failed to make catch up. And Shane Lowry, something to smile about at last.
Yes, a 69 for him today, 1 under par, takes him to 5 under for the championship. And the way that the others are falling like confetti around him, he may well find in the clubhouse that he continues to rise up the leaderboard with that score.
Yeah, we're just having a look now. Actually, it is getting increasingly compressed near the top of the leaderboard. And we're also still keeping an eye out for Corey Connors, who's made a real impact. Marcel Siem, who is continuing to show plenty of emotion. Andy Sullivan, not expected to be up there, of course, but hanging around as we go back to Rupert and Harry, still keeping their eye on John Rahm.
Yes, well, hopefully his mood will continue to improve. He's had a pretty, might look conservative, but it was a sensible play into this 15 back left, Harry. So this is a makeable putt.
Yeah, it is a makeable putt. Great drive. Left himself at 197 into this pin position, hard on the right hand side on 15. One of the more difficult holes on this back nine. Great shot into the left hand side of this flag, and he has 25 feet here down the hill and right to left for birdie. Currently 6 under par for the championship. John Rahm takes a practice putt, has 1 more, and slips the putter behind the ball. Steadies his feet, the usual routine from John Rahm. 1 last look to the hole. Pulls the trigger, ball on the way, moving down that slope and right to left. Oh, unlucky. Very unlucky. He really wanted something to happen there, but great effort.
He's not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but with 3 holes to play, he will be eyeing up some birdies, but just a little bit of frustration as he taps in. Let's go to Matt.
As Jordan Spieth looks down the line of his putt here at the par 4 10th, if that line were to continue, it will run straight into a leaderboard where atop we see Louis Oosthuizen on 13 under par, Jordan Spieth alone in second at 11 under. And he does have a birdie opportunity here. What's the length, Reese?
Yeah, he's got about 12-foot putt, ever so slightly downhill. It's got to be one of the most level or flat putts on the whole golf course. It is downhill, like I say, but there's so little sideways movement in it. You have to feel he's got to keep it inside the hole, get the pace right, and wait for it to drop. Settles in here, shuffles his feet, putter back, ball on its way, moving. Yes, Jordan Spieth with the birdie. Kept the ball inside the hole. Great putt. 4 under for his round through 10 holes and up to 12 under par.
Yeah, I was wondering there for a second if it would reach the hole, but it crept in at the last moment. So a birdie as it is. Jordan Spieth now at 12 under par, and Dylan Fratelli had 15 feet for birdie. He's on the mark of 9 under par. He's sharing 3rd place alongside of Colin Morikawa. He putted down that very similar slope, but he's left himself short work here, but it is for par, and it is obviously at this point critical, so settling into it. That's why we're giving it to you, and that's why he put it in the hole for a 4. He remains at 9 under. Jordan Spieth at 12 under.
Yeah, let's just clarify the leaderboard because obviously we're reaching the business end of round 3. Louis Oosthuizen 2 under today, 13 under through 9. Then comes Jordan Spieth after that latest birdie, 12 under through 10, 4 under for today. Dylan Fratelli in a share of 3rd place. He's 2 under today, 9 under for the championship. That is the same with Colin Morikawa. And then Corey Connors, who Sue has been keeping a really close eye on, is just knocking back behind those front runners, 8 under, having gone 4 under today through 16. And 2 players on 7 under at the moment. Marcel Siem after 12 holes, 1 under for his round today. And Scotty Scheffler, who hasn't really got things going, is level par for the day after 11. So plenty of players still involved, so much to look forward to. The time locally is 5 to 6.
Across the world on the Open.com and the official Open app, this is the Open Radio.
And hello to Angus in Birkdale, who says superb commentary from all your team. Special shout out to fellow Birkdale member Eilsey. I'm in the back garden, ice cold beer flowing, Open Radio topping it off. Thank you, Angus, as we head back to Ramy and Ron.
Yes, we're on the 10th. They're starting their back 9, Oosthuizen and Morikawa. And Morikawa, from down on the left-hand side, just in the rough, just the light fluffy stuff. That's not really the thick stuff. But remember, this is an elevated green, big bunkers, 2 big bunkers, waiting to catch anything stray on the left. Not much room behind either. And here he goes. High in the air, towering shot. Looks good, looks good. A little bit short, doesn't have very much spin, and it just holds there on the upward rise, just a little false front there.
As we see Louis here, quite difficult shots here coming in from this left side. Both players missed the very heavy hay here on the left hand side by no more than a few feet. Morikawa's ball actually jumped out of it. So Louis from a similar angle, 4 yards closer, 1-1-2. As he goes through his pre-shot routine, his caddy Colin Byrne from Dublin just walks away with his bag, and Louis sits into it, into a stance. Beautiful posture, black hat, a little wriggle of the hips. Ball is high up in the sky, going towards the flag on the right hand side here, almost bouncing top of Colin Morikawa's ball, and runs along the pin high to about 20 feet, 18 feet. Wonderful shot, approach shot here for Colin Morikawa. Over to you, Matty.
Thank you very much. Where Jordan Spieth is on the tee at the par 3, 11, 242 yards, but Reese's plays longer than that.
It does. It's back into a slightly freshening breeze, a cooler air. Looked how it hit his driving iron. It's just gone a little left. Oh, it dives into the front left bunker. All depends on the lie there, Matt, but not a terrible place to be, but he will be scrambling on this long par 3.
Jordan Spieth currently 4 under on his efforts today and 12 under on the leaderboard. Dylan Fratelli having a great day as well. He's 2 under today, and he's reached a mark of 9 under par. Again, 242 before him. The hole is cut 33 paces on and 9 from the left side. The wind is at the player's face, but slightly out of the right, and Jordan found that left bunker as a result of all of these factors and his own. So Dylan Fratelli now framed by grandstands way off in the distance. The traditional open sign that says a big 11 on it for this hole, and then all the signage that surrounds it and the people. It is quite remarkable. All right, this one is going left as well. Oh, it's way more overcooked than what last. This one's going into the gallery, so we'll see what happens with that lie. Hopefully everyone is okay, but sometimes when you hit into that area, the grass is matted down because that's where the gallery has been, so we will report accordingly.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear everyone shouting so loudly there, because that could have been dangerous. A whole host of people were in danger. Your man, Corey Connors.
Yes, chipping up onto the 17th green. He's not going to hole it, is he? Oh, my goodness, he nearly did. That was wonderful. Little bit of trouble for the Canadian, and he'd come up a little bit shy on that green, so he had to chip up from about 40 yards. Couldn't quite make it. Stunning chip, though. Marcel Siem for birdie on the 13th. And that ball is rolling towards the hole, and the German's walking towards the hole as well. He didn't like it, but he's got a stone-cold par, a tap in there to stay at 7 under par.
Yeah, that was never quite going to make it up the little slope. Right, let's get back out to Ron and Raimi.
Thank you, Marcus. As we are looking at Colin Morikawa here, just at the top of the first crest here on the little 10th green here. He's currently 9 under par. Straight up the hill, a little bit of left to right, as he just steps into it. Has one last look. A little wriggle. Ball is on its way up the green. He's been putting superbly from long distance, has stepped off it very quickly, so has just dragged a little bit left. As he just has a little look at the through line here of Louis, he just steps up and taps that one in. So it'll be a par 4 here on this difficult 10th to go to 9 under par. And we have Louis Ron from 18 feet for birdie.
Just about that, I would think, Ray. Yeah, Morikawa played his front 9 in 35, so he's 9 under, where he started the day, of course. Oosthuizen 2 under for the day and 13 under for the tournament. He leads by 1 from Jordan Spieth. Now then, blue sky is the background. as he settles his feet over this birdie putt to extend his lead. Across the green it goes, and likes it, oh, just squeezes past on the left-hand side. So, well, is he going to tap it in? I think he probably will. Or no, he's going to mark it, in fact, but it should be all right. Let's go to Harry and Rupert.
So you've got a chance here for John Rahm from about 8 feet. This gallery around 16 will go bonkers if he holds it, but it's very makeable indeed, Harry.
It is 7.5 feet. You took the words right out of my mouth. I'm going to say nothing if this putt hits the up on the hole, because this place will erupt. The crowds around here are back right hand side. Anyway, John Rahm, 7 feet. Slightly downhill from the right hand side. Strikes it now. Listen for the roar. Oh, agony. He hasn't held his fair share on this back nine, John Rahm. Such a disappointment.
The crowd were ready to give it maximum Rambo, but unfortunately not to be, and he's still got 2 feet to sort things out here. Let's go back to Matt.
At the par 3 11th, where Dylan Fratelli, you might remember, hooked it off this tee. Went into the people, went into where there was some really thick rough. We couldn't tell on which side of it landed, but where did it settle?
It settled in a good lie, immediately adjacent to the grandstand to the side of this green. So he's got a good clean lie, but he's got the bunker that Jordan Spieth is in immediately between him and the flag, and only about 7 paces of green running away from him. It's a really difficult shot to get close. The one thing in his favour is he's back into the breeze, and there is a slight backstop behind the hole. He plays it in low into the bank to the left of the bunker, bounces up onto the green, rolls about 15 feet past. Excellent effort from there. I think that was a good result from there, Matt.
All right, did you get a chance to see Jordan Spieth's ball in that pot bunker in the front left?
I did. Jordan's is lying cleanly, although it is slightly below his feet, which is not what he would choose, but not disastrous. But I think this is a great opportunity here. He could actually think about holding this shot.
Oh, you heard from Rhys Davies as Jordan Spieth starts to settle in, practicing his assault. This is the final one. Digging in, crouching down, getting ready to blast from this bunker. And he does. Into the air. It's coming out left, spinning towards the hole. Coming back behind it. He's left himself about 4.5 feet for par out here at 11. So where we stand, Jordan Spieth is 12 under par. Dylan Fratelli is 9 under par. The lead is Oosthuizen at 13.
Yeah, Oosthuizen has just tapped in for par to maintain his position. Not good news of Marcel Seen, though, Sue.
No, it isn't. Fans of the German, who is mounting a magnificent charge here at St George's this week, he carved across the front of his drive on the 14th, the par 5 14th. Danger lurks down the right, and when you shank it, you're going to find the edge of bounds, and he did. So he's currently 7 under par for the championship, but he is not going to stay there. Corey Connors on the 18th tee, Marcus. How well has he played to get to 8 under?
He's been absolutely magnificent. He is now the leading Canadian, and that has gone straight down the middle of the fairway. There's better news for Justin Harding fans as well. He's just birdied 14 to go back to -6. He's even today. That is a tie for 8th place. And I've been practicing this name for a while, this latest email. Thanks for all your messages, by the way. radio@theopen.com. And Athanasios Polychronopoulos has been in touch. I won't try that one again, but thank you very much. At the end, I'm coming back to Athanasios Polychronopoulos, but let's get back to Ealesy quickly.
Yes, Dustin Johnson just missing his putt for a birdie 3. Remember, he's 5 over for his round, 2 under for the championship. But I do know that email from Angus Millen, he would hold this right to lefter that Scotty Scheffler is facing now for a birdie 3 here on the 12th. This would take him to 1 under for the day and -8 for the championship. It's on its way. It's turning from right to left. And oh, he's just hit it a little too hard. It didn't take the break. It's finished behind the hole. So that will be a 4. And let's go to Matt and Rhys.
Thank you very much, Ealesy, where we find Jordan Spieth just re-marking his ball, placing it back down onto the green, and the effort that he has before him is to save par at the par 3 11th. Remember, he bunkered his tee shot, and just before him, Dylan Fratelli from 15 feet failed to convert his par effort, so he drops a shot and is now at 8 under par.
Jordan here has got a 6-footer breaking gently from right to left. He'd look to put this on about the right edge of the hole. He's shuffling his feet now. Slight forward, customary forward press. Ball's on its way. Is he going to reach? Short on pace and misses on the low side. Taps it in with the back of his pedal. That was a disappointing bogey 4 after quite a poor bunker shot.
Yeah, that's another bogey for Jordan Spieth today. His second of the day that will see him drop to 11 under par.
Right. I'm going to try it again. Athanasios Polychronopoulos, thank you very much indeed for your email, although at the end you sign it AGP, but I like that name. Athanasios Polychronopoulos says, our coverage is so good that in the early morning here in Florida, I'm listening and staying in bed instead of moving to the living room to watch the television. Okay, we'll go back to Ron Jones.
Yes, thanks very much, Marcus. Very good pronunciation, I have to say. Very good. I wouldn't have fancied that if I was doing a football match, I have to say. But anyway, all that now is behind us as we look up towards the tee on the par 3 11th. This lovely par 3 11th. 242 yards today. They've lengthened the course generally today, and certainly the pin positions are a good deal more difficult than they've been on the 2 previous days. But now then, Ray.
Yes, Louis Oosthuizen is ready to hit here. 242 yards into this middle back pin position. Into the breeze a little bit. Ball is on its way. High, going into the middle part of the green. Is it going to jump? And it jumps forward beautifully. Is it going to run up and stay there? Stay there. It's stay out of that bunker. And unfortunately, he's actually hit his ball in the middle of the green. It's ran around the front of the bunker, so he's going to be left with quite a difficult pitch shot here, Ron, up this little swale here on this hard 11th par 3 green.
Oh, that will certainly test him. There's no doubt at all about that. But in many respects, it might have been better in the bunker, but we shall see as we wait now for Colin Morikawa at 9 under. So he's level par for the day, where he started at 9 under. Oosthuizen has picked up 2 shots. He's now 2 shots in the lead with Spieth's bogey on the previous hole. There's the swish and the lovely contact with Morikawa's ball. And it looks good. He's going right for the middle of the green. Just filters down now from the right-hand side. That is a beauty. It's probably about 15, 16 feet from the pin, but that really was a lovely tee shot.
Class tee shot. Brilliant tee shot. He's in pole position here for a birdie here on 11 as we'll head down to the back of the green.
Yeah, well, he was a little wobbly to start with, but signs that Colin Morikawa is rediscovering the form that made him so impressive yesterday, in particular Danny Willett on 18, Sue.
Topsy-turvy round for Danny Willett, highs and lows, but a par on the 18th. He will take that 4 under for the championship. On a day when people haven't really been making a big move, a 70 will do just fine for Danny Willett. There were some really great moments with the eagle on 10, but the out of bounds on 14, that hurt him.
Yeah, and it's hurt Marcel Siem, who is in danger of racking up a big score on that hole, and that would be a huge shame because he has battled so hard after this period of, well, I wouldn't say inactivity, but certainly inactivity in terms of being anywhere near the top of the leaderboard.
Well, he's not on the European Tour. He plays on the Challenge Tour, which is the level below. As we look at Jordan Spieth, has leaked that drive into the fairway, the rough stuff, down the left-hand side. That's trouble again for Jordan Spieth.
It is. So as things stand, Louis Oosthuizen has a 2-shot lead. He is 13 under through 10. He's 2 under for his round today. Jordan Spieth in trouble off the tee, as Sue just mentioned, 11 under. 3 under today. He has played 11 holes. We've got Colin Morikawa in 3rd place, and here's your man Corey Connors again.
What a great round he's putting together. 4 under par, 2nd shot down the par 4, 18th. Huge galleries watching. They're going to know an awful lot more about Corey Connors when this ball lands, and that's a very, very nice approach. Left himself a lengthy birdie opportunity, but 4 under par so far, 8 under for the Open Championship, to Harry and to Rupert.
And John Rahm hits his drive 357 on 17. Now's a chip shot, Harry.
Yeah, 57 to the front. This flag is on another 14, so only 71 yards to the pin here for John Rahm. Pitches it nicely right to the flag. Will it spin? Yes, it does, and it comes back. Great shot from John Rahm. Has it into about 6-7 feet for birdie here on 17.
Well, he was pretty disgruntled when he walked off 16. He threw his putter at his bag in disbelief that he missed that putt for birdie. But now he has a chance to get another one. He's stalking the leaders. Let's go back to Ron and Remy.
Yes, thank you, Rupert. As we on the left-hand side here, Louis Oosthuizen has a little chip shot here over a few sprinter heads, up a little slope, over a little gnome, and hopefully he'll let it run it down towards the pin. So Louis, this is the back foot. He has to nip this one. Little pitch and run shot. Weight on the left side. Pitches up beautifully, spins it. Is it going to hit? Oh, no, it doesn't, and it just runs past that a little bit too far now, about 12 feet, maybe 14 feet past the hole. So a little mistake here for the South African. He was very tight. The lie was there, very sandy and tight. It was very close to the bunker. So as we've seen and we heard of Colin Morikawa's tremendous high-powering iron shot right into the right-hand side. Ball ran beautifully down, pin high, and he's going to be left here with, what, 13, 14 feet here for birdie run?
Yep, something like that, Ray, certainly. He and his caddy go about their business. They really do work together as a team, and Morikawa's just looked from behind the hole, so the caddy is now looking from the front. Morikawa goes to the side, then settles over where his ball is going to be, and will be ready to make his putt as the caddy now goes down on his knees, and Morikawa goes halfway down where he will putt from, and he's just about ready now to go back, place his ball. This for birdie, remember, this is the par 3 11th. Oosthuizen has already had 2 shots and has got a lot of work to do to save his par. But Morikawa to go to 10 under. Again, has one last look, squats down. At long last, he's ready. Wipes the putter head with his hand. Moves in behind the ball. Left hand on his left thigh. Gets his feet into position. Places his hand, claw grip with the right, and now at long last he's ready. Back goes the putter, forward it goes. Some idiot yells and shouts at the top of his voice. I'm sure he's pleased with that. Anyway, let's go to Matt.
Thank you very much, Ron. Where we find Jordan Spieth on the left side of the short par 4 12th. Hit a lot of club off the tee, and it went through the fairway and into the deep left rough. How tough is this lie?
This is really, really deep. This is as bad a lie as Jordan's faced all day and quite possibly all week. It's deep down there. The grass has sort of flopped and grown over the top of the ball, so even seeing the ball from his angle is a challenge. And the pin here is right at the back of the green, which is in his favour. He has 117 yards, but the key is to get it about 80 yards to get to the front of the green as he hacks hard at it. He's gone out well to the left of the green, rolls up through past the left-hand side of the pin, over and down into a grass swale at the back of the green. Good effort from there. Let's go to Ron.
Louis for par here, and unfortunately he is headed left a little bit, and he's just tapped it in one-handed. So Louis makes a bogey here. I think this is his second bogey of the championship. Ron, he's back to 12 under par for the championship. Colin Morikawa remains at -9, and they're heading off to the 12th hole.
Great.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Quickly to Matt.
Yeah, where Dylan Fratelli is in that really deep pot bunker in front of this 12th green alongside of Jordan. He has 62 yards left. You can't, from our angle behind the green, we can't even see him. as he blasts this one out. It hits the middle front of the green and rolling out. He's going to leave himself about 35 feet. It will be a birdie attempt for Dylan Fratelli at this short par 4, and just reiterating again, as the lead is now down to 1, Jordan Spieth is over the green in 2, and will need to get up and down here at the 12 to keep it there. Let's go to Ron.
Across the world, on the Open.com and the official Open app, this is the Open Radio.
Putt for Corey Connors at 18. He's had a terrific round today and he tidies things up nicely. -8, a 4 under par 66 for the Canadian. And he has looked the part so far. So the situation, again, it's constantly changing now. Louis Oosthuizen, having dropped a shot, is at -12, having played 11 holes, -1 for his round today. That is 1 in front of Jordan Spieth, who's just wobbling a little bit. He's at -11 after 11, -3 for today. And then Colin Morikawa in third place, -9. 2 players at -8, that's Corey Connors and Dylan Fratelli, who has played 11. And then at 7 under, we've got John Rahm and Scotty Scheffler. At 6 under, Cameron Smith, who birdied 18, one of 5, offset by 3 bogeys. So that gives him a tie for 8th place. Let's go back to Rupert Bell for more on John Rahm. Harry Ewing's with him.
Great opportunity for Rahm to make a birdie here. He strikes the putt, moving down the hill. Is it going to go in? It is! Great tree from John Rahm on 17.
Well,
now we're starting to rock and roll, Rupert.
We are, and John Rahm is rocking and rolling because he's playing himself into contention for the final day with a birdie here on 17. He's now at 7 under par.
All right, third shot from Jordan Spieth, just beyond the green here at the 12, but it ran down 2 ridges, so he was effectively about 15 feet off, but he had to putt up those massive steps. When he did so, when he used a putter, when I say putt, he chose the putter and he hit the hole. However, it has released to about 9 feet away, so Jordan will need that for his par, and then leaves us with Dylan Fratelli, who has about 35 feet left for. This is a birdie effort for him.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. It's quite a long way, but the putt is very level. We're very close to the players here, so we've got to watch our level of our voice. But Dylan's working hard on this one. He hit a very smart bunker shot. He had that's just over 60 yards to the flag and wary of going over the green, which was a smart play to keep it below the hole and keep it short. But this is a gentle breaking putt from right to left, with not too much uphill or downhill nature about it. So put the ball out the right hand side of the hole, get your speed right, and see if you can get one to drop from long range. His putting has looked good today, and just feel like he's due a long putt. As he settles in, putter goes back, ball on its way, running out nicely, running out, lovely line, just going to pull up about a foot short of the hole, so that should secure his par 4.
All right, so you heard the birdie putt from Louis Oosthuizen. That's the hole behind us. His lead thus to 1. But Jordan Spieth is facing a tester now for par in order to keep that margin. We're out here at the par 4, 12th. Jordan got in trouble off the tee. His ball went left into some very deep rough. Rishi said it was the worst lie that you've seen for Jordan all day and maybe all week. From there, he hit a second shot that ran through the green, and he put it to here. So from 9 feet away, this is for par to remain 1 back. Putt is on its way in the hole for Jordan Spieth. That was important. All right, so Jordan Spieth remains at 11 under par. Dylan Fratelli is 8 under.
Oh, this is fantastic stuff, isn't it? It's one of those afternoons where you cannot take your eyes off the screen or the course or your ears away from the radio. What's coming next, I wonder, Miss Thurl? Jordan showing his fighting qualities. Louis trying to hang in there. Others making a move. It's what it's all about.
Well, moving Saturday here at the Open, Marcus, unfortunately for Marcel Siem fans, as we look at a birdie putt for Andy Sullivan on the 14th, tracking towards the hole, and it just shaved the right-hand side. Marcel Siem, he will stay at 6 under par with that tap in par. Andy Sullivan. Marcel Siem going backwards, unfortunately, on the 14th. He, like Danny Willett, hit it out of bounds down the right-hand side. A triple bogey 8 for him, a snowman, the dreaded snowman, which took him back all the way back from 7 under to 4 under par. So Marcel Siem will have to try and bounce back from that, but that's going to be tough.
Yeah. A lot of you have tweeted and emailed in about that. It's already legendary call by Raymond Burns when there was a severe danger of various people being hit by a ball, and Beekman Kruger has been in touch and says, great stuff, I almost drove off the road during that 4 call on the Colin Morikawa shot a little earlier. It's captured everybody's imagination. Hopefully we've got that on tape somewhere.
I don't think it's the last we've heard of it.
No, we need every now and then, when things are drifting, we'll just bang that in instead of the gentle music that we often use. Talking of gentle things, let's go back to Paul Eales. I'm not suggesting he's gentle, but there's been a rather genteel feel to Scotty Scheffler and a downright disappointing one for DJ.
Yes, that's right, Marcus. Unfortunately for the world number 1, 5 bogeys, no birdies. He's back to 2 under par for the championship. However, better news for the 25-year-old native from Dallas. He is level par for his round. 1 bogey at the second, a birdie at the par 5 7th, and he's at -7 for the championship.
Thank you, Ilsey. I'm disappointed for Marcel Siem. You were telling us about the 8. He'd worked so hard, but of course, so many people, including Dustin Johnson 10 years ago, have fallen foul of the 14th.
They have indeed, and the really weird thing about it, as we see Jordan Spieth off the tee on the 13th, that looks okay. Yes, just gambling down the right-hand side of that fairway, is in terms of the conditions, they are as benign as they have been at any stage of this Open Championship. The wind has been such an issue by and large, but not at the moment, and it seems to be that the players are struggling a little bit to get their putters fired up, and maybe some of their irons too in and around these greens. So yeah, we wait and we wonder. John Rahm on the 18th, how's he getting on, Harry and Rupert?
Second shot in, coming from the right-hand side, from the first cut of the rough to the hole cut at the back. And
he hates it. He absolutely hates it. The hand is off the club. He's missed it out the back left of the screen, and that's not a spot that you want to be when the flag is hard right. So
he's looking to his right. He's disgruntled. Something distracted him. Let's go to Ron and Remy.
Thank you, Rupert. We're on the middle of the 12th fairway here, looking down at Colin Morikawa, who's currently 9 under par. He's in prime position here, looking right into the right-hand side of this beautifully designed 12th hole. The pins cut at the very back, just about 7 off the side of the green. So Colin going through the routine again with his caddy. His caddy is in his ear, just deciding on what type of flight, what type of trajectory. As this is a downhill green at quite at the end, so you've got to be pinpoint with your accuracy here. 107 yards. The caddy pops back over to have a chat with him again. Just having a little chat just to make sure everything's in order. So Colin Morikawa takes his posture, takes his stance, has a couple of looks. Beautiful backswing, right through, rips it up into the sky.
Oosthuizen hits his second shot.
Looking down on the green, a beautiful shot, but unfortunately it checked up quite quickly, and he's going to be left with about a 25-footer for birdie down the hill here, number 12. Meanwhile, the South African, the fairway finder, Louis, on the left-hand side. Beautiful angle into this beautifully designed hole here at the 12th. Ron, what has he got?
Well, he's got about 99, just under 100 yards to go, and there it goes. It's just a little flip of the wrists, high in the air, and again, beautifully done now. It needs to hold on, it will hold on, and it's just about pin high, round about 15 feet.
Yes, a beautiful execution there, gorgeous shot there for Louis, so Louis will have a putt here for birdie to get that drop shot on 11 back here.
Thank you, Ramy. And now, Justin Harding. Very few people interested with his progress, but he's putting for par at the 16th, and he has missed. So that is a drop shot for the South African. Hasn't had a lot to cheer about today. Still in the mix, but, well, a lot of people are still in the mix, but hasn't kicked on, and it's moving day. This is the day, of course, when you hope to do something special. I know that so many of you are moving around whichever country, whichever continent you are in, long journeys, and the radio is keeping you company. Greg Kahn's an example of that, says grateful for the coverage as we drive from Maryland to Massachusetts, hoping that Jordan Spieth brings the claret jug back to the United States. Well, he's definitely still got a chance, but it's going to be very hard work. And James is listening while delivering mail in sunny and hot Las Vegas. OK, back to Jon Rahm, who's found a new lease of life in front of Rupert and Harry.
Well, he was not happy with that approach shot, Harry, because he's back left. He's got to go across the whole green, so I suppose that's a little bonus for that pulled approach shot.
Yeah, he's found a good lie though, just off the back left of the 18th green. Not too difficult, just has to carry it past the swale. Fancy him to get this one up and down. There we go, pops it up over that swale that I described, releases out. Come on, go on.
Keep going, keep. No,
he's going to have a bit of work to do there to save his 4 and remain at 7 under par. Probably 8 feet for par here on 18.
I have to say, it's been a very inconsistent run. There's been flashes of the Rahm brilliance. There's been flashes of when the temperament has just been tested to the max. And now has been a mirror image of what's been going on, and this is not going to be easy for him. So when it comes to his turn, he's been playing alongside Cameron Tringale, who on the 17th hit a good shot into 17th, but ball hit the flag and ricocheted on the full right back down the slope and away. So, but we'll complete matters shortly, but we'll go out to Ron and Remy.
Thank you, Rupert. We're on the 12th hole. Colin Morikawa, birdie putt from 25 feet, right down the spine of this 12th green here. He's got the claw grip, has one last look. Ball is trucking down towards the hole. Is it got there? Has it got there? Ooh, unfortunately it was trucking all right, but he's left it a little bit short of pace on the left side, and he might just have to step over Louis' line here, tap that in, and he will remain 9 under par for the championship, walking over to the 13th tee as we see Louis Ron has a great opportunity to claw that drop shot back from number 11.
Yeah, he's pin high after his approach shot from around about 100 yards on the left of the green, the top left of the green, and he'll come across the green. The pin is cut 6 in from the right and 39 from the front, so it's way to the back. But this is across the green, and as Ray was saying, it's around about, maybe 14 feet or so, 14, 15 feet. Again, very familiar, with his hands at the top, then down the bottom, but once he's ready, away it goes, and well, that could not have been closer other than going in. It's resting on the lip, it won't drop. So Louis pops it in for his par, stays at 12 under par, 1 shot lead over Spieth at the moment. Let's go to Rupert and Harry.
Well, this is for Jon Rahm, sitting at 7 under par, currently 5 behind as I look at the distinctive yellow leaderboard. It is an important putt because this is for par and just keeps him feeling that he's in with a big chance here of maybe lifting a claret and jug to follow on for his US Open success. Well, this could be a moment just to settle him down and give him confidence going in to tomorrow's final round.
Yeah, that's for sure. Pretty straight putt here from about 8 feet for Jon Rahm. He just backs off to take one more look here on 18. Magnificent. Fans, grandstand's absolutely full, and the hospitality unit here on the right. It's some scene here on a Saturday evening. Jon Rahm just steps back in. Familiar routine now at this stage. 1 practice putt. Slips the putter in behind the ball. Hands look very light on the putter. Big putt here for par. Come on, John. He's over it now. Takes the putter back, strikes, ball's on its way. Yes, yes, yes. Well done, Jon Rahm. That's a great save on the 18th and hugely important as we head into tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely significant because he's now feels that he must be in it. He's scrambled his way round. He was certainly not at his best, but he's going to start at 7 under going into tomorrow's final round.
Yeah, crucial moments perhaps for Jon Rahm, and who knows, around about this time tomorrow will we refer back to that crucial par putt of all things from Jon Rahm, which maybe, just maybe, will be the springboard to back-to-back majors for the very popular Spaniard. Back to Paul Eales.
Scotty Scheffler, a little bit unfortunate with his second shot to the par 5 14th. Just fell into the bunker, but it's a lovely lie, and he's only 5 paces away from the hole. This is a definite chance for eagle here for Scheffler. Back through, up it comes out. Is it going to go in? No, it just spins away to the right, but it should be a birdie coming up. That was a real good opportunity there for Scotty Scheffler. Level par he is for his round, 7 under for the championship, and I will update you on the birdie putt in moments.
Thank you very much indeed, Ealsey. So the situation, I appreciate that a lot of you are joining us at all times of the day, but Louis Oosthuizen continues to lead by 1 for now from Jordan Spieth, with Colin Morikawa 2 back in 3rd place. But Jordan Spieth has been through just a little bit of a wobbly stage of late. Let's catch up on his fortunes with Rhys Davis and Matt Adams.
Yeah, we have Jordan Spieth here on the 13th, chipping for his birdie from the fringe, just on top of the bunker, ball rolling towards the hole, and oh, just slides by on the right, moving good considerable 6 or 8 feet past the hole. His ball had nestled just above the top corner of the pot bunker, so his stance was awkward, and the ball jumped out of that fluffy grass on the side of the bank there.
Yeah, he's left himself some considerable work here, Marcus. We will report when he is ready to make that effort.
Thank you, Matt. And in the meantime, I shall just go down that leaderboard a little further, because one of your players may be there or thereabouts. If you've got a particular interest in Corey Connors, you can be proud of the Canadian, 4 under 66 today, which means he is 8 under for the championship and in a tie for 4th place. And we can hear what he's just been saying.
Yeah, it really was. Felt like I left some shots out there on the front nine. I gave myself some really good chances, and my speed was just a little bit off with some of the birdie putts I hit. But was hitting my line, so just tried to remain patient. Was able to get a few putts to fall in on the back nine. Felt like I drove it well and hit my irons really well, and it was a lot of fun up there.
A lot of fun for Corey Connors. Still lots for Dylan and Jordan to do. Back to Matt and Rhys.
Out here at the par 4 13th hole, where Jordan Spieth has some work to do. He had a perfect lie after his drive, 157. It was a little bit of a tight lie, a bit crispy, but came up short. The wind is coming in into their face off the right. And as Rhys was explaining, he just avoided a pot bunker front right of this green. It was a bit of an awkward lie, and hit his 3rd, released it to where it is, just outside of 6 feet. This is to remain within 1. Back, through, and in for Jordan Spieth. A scrambling par at 13. He remains at 11 under par. Let's go out to Ealsey.
Yes, we've just seen Dustin Johnson 2-putt the par 5 for his first birdie of the day. Remember, he's had 5 bogeys. That's his first birdie, so back to 3 under par for the championship now. Scotty Scheffler, who had a really good chance to make a hole, a bunker shot for an eagle. He came out nicely, 3 feet away. He's now got this for a birdie 4, right at the far end of the golf course. Prince's Golf Course, beyond the ditch and the long tall grass in the distance. Over it now, on its way, and oh my goodness me, he has missed it to the right. Taps it in for a par 5. Nothing happening in this group. Marcus, back to you.
I'm sorry to hear that, Ealsey. Let's hope you get a little bit of fun and excitement before the end of the day. So at the top of the leaderboard, it is Louis Oosthuizen, still 1 clear of Jordan Spieth. Colin Morikawa at 9 under par in 3rd place. Corey Connors, who we just heard from. Dylan Fratelli, who has tapped in for his par. John Rahm, as we heard, a par putt for him on 18. Could prove crucial. He's finished 7 under, 2 under today, so he's 5 off the lead at the moment. Scotty Scheffler looking to improve upon his position before the end of the day. We mentioned that Cameron Smith had it was an up and down day, 5 birdies, 3 bogeys, so 2 under, and that has given him a tie for 8th place at 6 under par, alongside Mackenzie Hughes, who's still got 1 hole left. Kevin Streelman had a terrific round today. Quite a few rounds in the mid-60s. The best still belongs to Robert McIntyre with a 65, but Kevin Streelman came in with a 4 under par 66 to give him a tie for 10th place at 4 under par. You're listening to the Open Radio. It's 26 minutes to 7.
As well as live leaderboards, tee times, video and radio during the Open Championship, you can enjoy historical and new content every day of the year with the Open app. Download for free on iPhone or Android.
It is a beautiful latish now afternoon on the Kent coastline. We've had sunshine all day, temperature in the early 20s. It felt a lot warmer than that, and some pretty explosive golf at times. Not the scoring that we had yesterday, of course, and from a neutral perspective, that's probably just as well, because so many players are still within touching distance. What a sizzling Sunday we should have, and the weather forecast for tomorrow is magnificent again. So we're guaranteed to get our tans up, if nothing else, and I'm sure our pulses will be raised throughout the course of tomorrow. Not been good for everybody. I mentioned some of the really disappointing scores that came in, not least for Van Tonder, the South African, who was 6 over through 10. I'll check on his progress in just a moment, but we'll head back in the meantime to the Morikawa and Oosthuizen partnership, being watched by Ron Jones and Raymond Burns.
Thank you, Marcus. As we see Morikawa here, right down the middle of this 13th fairway, and he's got 145 yards into a little breeze. A very, very tight cut pin position here on the right hand side, only 9 on, 6 from the right, guarded by one of Royal St George's famous bunkers. But as we all know, the man from LA can certainly hit an iron. So the middle of the fairway, steps into his posture, 145, ball is ripped high up into the sky, looking down right at the flagstick. Is it going to come down a little bit? Absolutely. Spins a little bit to the left hand side, and a very, very nice shot in there for Morikawa. Leaves himself about 25 to 30 feet for birdie. Meanwhile, Louis, who is in the left rough, a very, very crispy lie. He's got a lot of grass run behind the ball. He's 143. The only advantage he has, he's coming in from a different angle.
I was about to say that is the only advantage in many respects. It is a good angle, as we've got a plane doing all sorts of somersaults above us. Are they called somersaults when planes do them? I don't know. Anyway, loop the loop is the thing, isn't it? Now then, here's the ball, high from Oosthuizen, and this is coming left. It won't quite have enough on it to go into the bunker. It's actually pin high, but off the green, down on the left-hand side. There's a little swale there. As I say, it didn't quite have enough to go into the bunker, but a little bit of work for Louis to do.
A lot of work. He's got a long chip shot here, little low one here, little pitch and run up the green here, up the swale, and he's probably about 55 feet from the flag. So a lot of work to be done here for Louis, as we will walk up behind the 13th green here, Marcus.
Thank you very much indeed. Mackenzie Hughes has just birdied the 18th for a round of 68, and it was one of those putts that looked like it might just stop on the edge, and there was one final revolution.
Well, you just think sometimes it's going to be your day, your year. I wonder, as that just plopped into the hole with that last half revolution, if it might be Canada's year, you know, because Corey Connors had a brilliant round today, and Mackenzie Hughes doing the same here. So you never know. Brooks Koepka with a little birdie chance here on the 18th as well. We've been almost silent on him this week, today, sorry, because he hasn't been doing anything, and that had just slipped past. I think it just sums up his day today, Marcus.
Yeah, well, he had a succession of bogeys very early on, and he hasn't really recovered from that. But you're quite right with Mackenzie Hughes. 2 under today, 7 under for the championship, tie for 6th place, and Corey Connors one better than him with his 4 under par today, 8 under for the championship, tied for 4th. Back to Ron and Ramey.
Thank you, Marcus, as we're just at the back here of this 13th hole, and this aeroplane is doing somersaults on top of us here. I hope you all can hear us, but Louis, 55 feet, chip shot, uphill, up to this back right pin position. He's chipping just below the bunker. He just skirted a little bit with the bunker, and as I just see him stepping into it, this thing is right off the back foot, outside his back foot. He's got his hands really forward. He's just chipping from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, trying to nip this into the bank, and just a little bit of check and run it up to this flagstick. So Louis, ball is on its way, nips it beautifully. Is it going to run up the top? Does it get to the top? And unfortunately, Ron, for Louis, another little chip. Ball is still moving, actually. The ball is oscillating on the top of the slope, so a very poor chip shot on number 11, and a very poor chip shot here on number 13.
Yeah, it's just letting him down a little bit. That one didn't really have enough pace. It was uphill, of course, for most of the way, and then it flattens out towards the flag. But it just didn't have enough pace to then meet the flat bit of ground, taking him up to the flag. In the meantime, Colin Morikawa, of course, Oosthuizen still leads by 1. He's 12 under par, as Morikawa and his caddy in unison have a look at this putt. Birdie putt for Morikawa to take him to 10 under. The magnificent Prince's Clubhouse to our left. Prince's Golf Course just over the fence, just behind us. They actually held an Open Golf Championship there a long time ago. But here we're at Royal St George's. Clouds, blue sky, and Morikawa. Again, fiddles about, squats down, takes his cap off, puts it back on. Nothing to do with putting. Then has another look along his line. Caddy is staying out of the way this time. But Colin Morikawa, now comes the more familiar scene. Wipes the head of his putter with his hand. Steps in behind the ball. Putter goes in behind the ball. Feet, little dance to get them right. Left hand on his thigh. Then the claw grip with his right hand. And now he's ready, putting through part of his shadow. And the ball is on its way. Stays down, looks good, and in from Colin Morikawa. What a lovely putt. That really was high class. And a birdie for Morikawa. It's third of the day, and he goes to 10 under par. Lovely putt.
He's got him back in double figures there. As we see Louis going through his paces from about 8 feet here for par. Louis is 12 under par at the moment. Morikawa is 10 under par. As you can remember, back in the 9th hole, Louis Oosthuizen was 13 under and Colin Morikawa was 9 under. So this to keep the 2-shot gap between Louis and Colin Morikawa. As Louis goes through his paces, similar technique, wipes the putter with his left hand, steps into it, gets the hands up high, pushes the hands down the grip, back up the grip. Has a quick look. Ball is on its way. Does it stay on line? And it doesn't. And unfortunately, Louis, another drop shot, and will move back to a tie with Jordan Spieth at 11 under par, walking on to the 14th tee. Marcus.
Yeah, that is very interesting. So we do have joint leaders in Jordan Spieth and Louis Oosthuizen, and of course Colin Morikawa is now within 1, and all those players just behind them are getting even more interested. Corey Connors and Dylan Fratelli on 8 under par. John Rahm, who's finished at 7 under. Mackenzie Hughes at 7 under. Scotty Scheffler still out there at 7 under. Let's not forget Cameron Smith at 6, and all those players on 5, for example. Kevin Streelman, Webb Simpson, Daniel Berger, Shane Lowry, the defending champion, tied for 10th at the moment. Justin Harding, Paul Casey, who's level for today with 1 hole to go. And Marcel Seam, more news of him, Sue Thurl.
My man, Marcel Seam. Well, we all know about the snowman on the 14th. Well, he has rebounded on 16 with a birdie. And the thing that's fabulous about watching him is he celebrates like a footballer. So it's all fists in the air, huge intensity. He wanted to fist bump pretty much everybody when he came off the green. But that's a wonderful reaction from Marcel Seam, who is 5 under par for the Open Championship.
Yeah. Sorry, Sue, I was just going to say, and credit also to Daniel van Tonder, who, if you remember, was in a really good position at the halfway stage. He was 5 over through the turn today. He then bogeyed the 10th, but he has just birdied 12, 13 and 14. So he's 3 over for today, but 3 under for the championship as we go back to Matt and Reese. Apologies, Sue.
Yeah, here at the par 5 14th hole where Jordan Spieth hit a drive into the first semi-cut of rough on the left side of this par 5. It left him 269 yards for his second shot into the green, and that came up short, maybe 25 feet from the putting surface, but he's left himself plenty of room. The pin has been cut on a plateau on the left side of this green, so it's a nice flat area that he's going to be able to run it up there with, if any amount of spin whatsoever. If he opts for the wedge or the putter, then he'll be able to get it to bite. But I think it is tight enough that he's going to be able to putter. Yeah, he does have a putter in hand now. So Jordan Spieth, who is currently, whether he knows it or not, there's a huge scoreboard right behind him. I imagine he does. He's tied for the lead. He lies 2 just in front of this par 5 14th.
Jordan's got a very lengthy putt here, but it is for eagle as Matt described. Got to go across quite a lot of fringe grass and then up a ridge and then on top of the green it flattens out. Ball is on its way now, up the rise, up onto the flat part of the green. It's got to stretch. Is he going to reach? Is he going to reach? No. Stops about 8 feet short of the flag. Not his best effort, that one, but he still has an upcoming birdie to take the lead.
All right, so Marcus, we're going to send it back to you guys to reset the situation overall for us, but we had 2 birdie putts coming up here in 14.
And we'll be back in plenty of time for those, Matt. Thank you very much indeed. This is the Open Radio. I'm Marcus Buckland alongside Sue Thurl. We're delighted to have your company wherever you are in the world. We are broadcasting locally at 87.7 FM on the Open website and app, Sirius XM in North America, TuneIn Radio worldwide, and on Talk Sport 2 in the United Kingdom. The time is 6:45.
Across the world on the Open.com and the official Open app, this is the Open Radio.
Mark's been in touch. He's a truck driver from Charlotte in North Carolina. Says, I am not missing the television coverage due to your awesome job via radio. Many thanks. Well, thank you for that. And the Bird family have written to us as well. We've been listening for the past 2 days while travelling from Ohio to Florida. Loving your British descriptions of the players and their play. Back to Matt.
Dylan Fratelli's birdie putt at 14 on the way. It was about 28 feet away, and it did not drop for him. It's short enough that he's just going to tap it in and remain on 8 under to Ealsey.
Watch Scotty Scheffler chip up from the right-hand side of the 15th. It missed for birdie. He has this 6-footer left to remain at level par for his round. 7 under, only 4 out of the lead. It's on its way, and it's dropped. It's dropped. Well done, Scotty Scheffler. He's still hanging around. Nothing really happening, but he's still in the championship. -7. Matty.
Thank you very much, Paul. All right. Dramatic putt here in the par 5 14th. Jordan Spieth from 8 feet for sole possession of the lead for birdie.
Ball's on its way, reaching. No, came out of his posture early on that one, left it out to the right, must have left the putter face open with not much break on that putt, and he gives out a little grunt, a little yell of frustration. Still, he remains tied for the lead, -11.
11 under par at that, and Dylan Fratelli is 8 under par as they move to the tee box on 15.
Yeah, just watching Jordan Spieth's body language as he walks away from the green there after failing to get the birdie, and yeah, it doesn't take a genius to work out that he's extremely frustrated. Paul Casey now with a birdie putt on 18.
He's been pretty quiet today, Paul Casey. This would certainly do. A birdie chance on the 18th, and it's not going to drop for the Englishman, but 5 under par going into the final day of the Open Championship. You wouldn't say by any manner or means that Paul Casey is out of it.
Yeah, he's tied for 11th, even today. Big smile. And, well, I'm not sure about the lime shirt, but a round of 70 to follow 68 and 67 on Thursday and Friday. Now, Justin Harding also with a birdie putt on 18. This would take him to 6 under.
Long birdie putt, good 10 feet or so. Into the hole it goes for Justin Harding. That's another excellent round from the South African. 6 under par, par 70 golf today, and he's still very much in the mix.
Yeah, at the moment just 5 back, despite the fact that it was an even par round. But Rob Lee was absolutely right at the start of the day when he said he didn't expect too many players to make too much progress in terms of big scores. Right, back to Ron and to Raymond.
Thank you, Marcus, and we're down in the 14th here, halfway up between the green and the Suez Canal here. Looking back in the backdrop here, we see Colin Morikawa hit a fantastic tee shot. Louis, fantastic tee shot down the middle, right-hand side for Morikawa, and down the middle for Louis. And we're just listening to the caddy and the players speak here, and eventually they've got the club. They're ready to go. Colin Morikawa from 250 yards out, 254 yards out into this tight par 5 green, out of bounds right, 2 guarded bunkers on the right-hand side, and the ball is on its way. and he seems to not like it. He's shrugging his shoulders a little bit, ever looking to see where the ball bounces on it. Oh, it's a super shot. Oh, absolutely fantastic. It's right into about 15 feet. I don't know what he was doing there, Ron. He seemed to shrug his shoulders, but certainly what a wonderful opportunity here. He's an eagle putt coming up here to get to 12 under par for the championship.
Well, if he didn't like that one, what will he do when he hits a really good one? Now then, from 242 yards, right from the middle of the fairway, it's Louis Oosthuizen, who just for a moment has brought everybody back, or most anyway, back into this championship. He seemed at one stage very comfortable at 13 under. Now, after two bogeys on 11 and 13, he's just one ahead as he launches this on this par 5, and he too doesn't seem to like that one, and that's gone well. I can understand why, because he's pulled it left and it's gone skirting past the two bunkers which just guard the left hand side, so it hasn't quite gone into the thick rough, but it's in the first cut, and that wasn't a good one from Louis, who seems just for a moment to be a little off colour.
Yeah, it just seems to be a little bit under pressure, you know. He's just hitting a few swings that we haven't seen for the last few days. So, and Louis' ball sat down around there. I know it's not gone into the hay, but it's sat down a little bit in this light rough here. And he's got to, go over the bunker here, and he's got to flirt with the left-hand side of this bunker to this left pin position. So a difficult shot coming up. It's 11 under par, co-leader here at the Open Championship at St George's. And we'll make our way up, Marcus, up to the back of the green here, and we'll give you some putts and some chips in a few minutes.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks also to Mary McNulty, who's been in touch, says loving the coverage as we drive from Milwaukee to northern Wisconsin, says go Jordan and go Bucks. Now, I don't know, Bucks? My surname's Buckland. I don't think that's in honour of me. We might need Matty to tell us what the Bucks means, or Mary, get back to us and tell us what the Bucks mean, and tell us more about Marcel Siem.
Well, Marcel Siem is just having, well, an extraordinary round of golf, really. We all remember the snowman and his poor face walking off the 14th. Well, he gave himself a real chance of a birdie on 17 there. Not quite able to make it, but still 5 under par for this championship as he heads to 18. So he is certainly well and truly in the mix too.
Yeah, and how good to see him respond just a little after that horrendous 8 at the par 5. So Jordan Spieth and Louis Oosthuizen locked together at 11 under par, but of course Colin Morikawa shortly has an eagle putt that could give him the lead. This is every bit as good as we were hoping for, and there's another day to come.
And you know what, Marcus, this morning as I was walking into the club here, I did think to myself the word playoff. The hyphenated word playoff.
Yeah, well, we haven't had too many of those in recent years.
No, we have not.
That's definitely a possibility. Do keep your tweets and your emails coming. They have been fantastic. They've kept us company for the past 3 days. And we'll be here again tomorrow morning from 9 o'clock tomorrow until the close of play, whenever that is. I think you have to go back 6 years for the last playoff, if I'm not mistaken.
And who was involved in that? Louis Oosthuizen.
Of course he was, yeah. Mark Leishman, who didn't have such a good time this time around. Zach Johnson too, yeah. So keep those emails coming. radio@theopen.com, radio@theopen.com. You can tweet us at The Open, hashtag The Open Radio, as we go back to Ron and Raymond and his Morikawa. Gonna get the eagle.
Well, you've got to be patient, Marcus. He's got to wait, because Louis Oosthuizen is first to go. Remember, we described his second shot. This is a par 5, remember, we're on the 14th, 538 yards. But he pulled it, and it's gone into the first cut. It's not sitting too badly, actually, but facing him is the greenside bunker on the right. And then, well, really, it's uphill pretty much all the way. There's a swale on the left, but he's somehow or other got to negotiate this little hillock, which is alongside the bunker, then up onto a flat surface, and he chips it. Oh, and he's duffed it. He's made a complete mess of it. Oh my goodness me! It just, well, he seemed to stop on it a little, and it only barely made it to the bank, and it's rolled left into a little swale in the middle of the bank, Ray.
Yes, it was very lucky that it never came back down to his feet again, but unfortunately, Louis just decelled on the downward swing there on, and the ball just sort of popped out in front of him. So a real misjudgment here in 14, a very important hole here today, the par 5, only 2 par 5s in this golf course, and this is one hole run you need to take advantage of, because most of the players here today are birdieing this hole. So Louis still has a very, very difficult pitch shot. He's got probably 15 feet of grass up the little hillock as Ron was talking about, and then down onto the green, and the pin is cut very, very tight to this left side, only 4 on off the left hand side of the screen. So a difficult little pitch shot coming up under extreme pressure, and I think Ronnie's got the putter out.
He has indeed.
Texas wedge.
Yep.
As he steps into it, goes through the routine. The grass, a little bit of grass to go through, and then down onto the green. Ball is on its way. Seems to be in a good line going down towards the hole. Is it going to get there? And a very, very nice shot. You know what they say, a bad putt's as good as a good chip, Ron.
Well, he should. He's going to mark it, but he should save par. But as Ray was saying, it's an opportunity missed. Only the 2 par 5s, both of them makeable, certainly you would expect a birdie. But it's a little more than that for Colin Morikawa. And if he were to hold this, he would in fact go ahead of Louis Oosthuizen. Oosthuizen currently joint leader with Jordan Spieth at 11 under. Morikawa 10 under, 1 behind them. But now with an opportunity for eagle, which would take him to 12 under par. Meticulous as ever with the preparation. Caddy nods in agreement about something or another. Caddy holding the flag over his shoulder. Morikawa places the ball. It was a wonderful, wonderful approach shot from well over 200 yards. Last look. Squats down behind it. Asks his caddy again about the lie of the land. And now comes the familiar routine. Wipes the head of the putter with his hand. Steps in behind the ball. Left hand on the top of his thigh. Little movement of the feet. Left hand goes onto the putter. Right hand, claw grip. A look at the hole. Final time. Back goes the putter. Forward it goes, and oh, not quite, but a certain birdie. Little tap in for him. He's giving it some attention, as he should. But he'll tap this in, and we'll have a 3-way tie at the top of the leaderboard. In it goes from Morikawa. So a 3-way tie at the top of the Open Championship at the moment at Royal St George's. And of course we're not quite done, Ray.
No, Louis has still a little bit of work to do here. Just try to settle himself down. Steps into it quite quickly. A little 2-footer here for par. And he taps it in. And Louis will move over to the 15th tee in a tie with 3. Over to you, Matt.
Up ahead of you, Raymond, at the 15th green where Jordan Spieth has his 35-foot putt for birdie. This rolls up to the edge of the hole and stops. So tap in left for Jordan will keep him on the mark of 11 under par. Hit a brilliant drive here, just short of a pot bunker, protecting the left side of the fairway, and hit a fantastic approach shot from well over 200 yards into this difficult 501-yard par 4. 15th, you just heard how it ended up with a par to remain at 11 under. Dylan Fratelli, however, he hit a pot bunker, a fairway bunker on the right side of the fairway, had no chance of reaching the green from 200 yards. From there he blasted it to about 80 yards, and from 80 yards he's left himself, Reese, what looks like a difficult putt to stay at 8 under par. I'm going to give that all of a good 18 feet.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. It's about an 18-footer, slightly downhill, breaking from the back of the green to the front, so a little bit left to right for him. And but he made the smart move off after a bad drive. He missed his tee shot to right. He pitched out, left himself about 125 yards, and has given him a good look to this back right flag position, hole placement. Down the green here, he's into the ball. The putter goes back, ball on its way, rolling nicely, trying to get it to turn to the right. Didn't quite turn enough. And he drops a shot.
He goes to 7 under par. Jordan Spieth remains at 11 under.
Well, apologies just for a moment. We've been getting excited in the booth. Of course, excited by what we're hearing out on the course, but also with our adopted German, Marcel Siem, who has well, almost thrilled everybody with another magical moment. This is how Sue described it.
Marcel Siem with his second to the par 4, 18th, 449 yards, the ball in the air, and it's rolling very nicely now down towards the pin. My goodness me, that is going to be so close for Marcel Siem. What an absolute beauty. And he's going to have a birdie putt of no more than 3 feet.
Yeah, that was an absolute beauty. So it's all been happening both here in the booth, where Sue's keeping her eye on what's happening away from the featured groups, and Marcel, after that 8 at the par 5 14th, has hit back with a couple of very impressive birdies.
Well, yeah, he has, and he's going to be right in the mix if he can get a birdie at the last to recover lost ground and end with a par, and 6 under he would be, as he is bidding to join the party atop the leaderboard. And it's some party, isn't it, on moving day, Saturday, at the Open Championship.
The 150th Open at St Andrews, one of the most prestigious events in the world of sport.
Louis Oosthuizen wins at St Andrews.
And because millions of fans want to be there, we have introduced a ticket ballot to ensure the crowd includes fans of all ages and from every continent.
Tiger Woods makes St Andrews his home again.
The ballot is now open until the 4th of October, and you can sign up at theopen.com.
All right, tee shot just about to be struck by Jordan Spieth. On the tee here at the par 3, 16th iron in hand, 165 yards away. There is a pot bunker on the back left of this, and he avoids it all safely, smartly, playing it to the middle of the green and releasing, so he's left himself just inside of 30 feet to try to get to 12 under par.
Yeah, that was a conservative play by Jordan. It is a bit of a sucker pin here on the back left. It feels like you can aim straight at it, which you can, but if you miss it at all to the left or slightly long, there is that bunker that Matt is talking about that is lethal and would be an extremely difficult up and down.
We saw Rory McIlroy hit into that bunker this morning pretty much with a beautiful line, but his ball hit and released so hard, which tells you that it's drying out here at Royal St. George's. Now, Dylan Fratelli will be next. He's still 7 under par, level par in his efforts today in the 3rd round, trying to hit into this green that is surrounded by protecting pot bunkers and these dunes. They're all low dunes, and they're covered with this thick, heavy fescue rough. Now, Fratelli. Wind is behind him. It's helping, slightly quartering from the right as he sends this one into the sky from 165 yards. He's walking straight away. Get up, they say. It's good. It's very good. It hit right into the middle of the green and release. It's perhaps a 1.5 foot past Jordan's spot, so Jordan will, I think, benefit from that. Would you agree with me that he's just outside of him?
Yeah, I think he's just outside of him. It's almost on the right line. It'll definitely help to gauge some speed and a little bit of feel of how the ball will break around the hole. But yeah, 2 good chances for birdie. Not guarantees, but they're more than capable of rolling that one in.
Both from just inside of 30 feet. We will have it for you presently.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm indebted to Mary, who's got back in touch. I wondered what she meant by Go the Bucks. I was kind of hoping it was in reference to me, as my surname's
Ice hockey?
Buckland. It's the Milwaukee Bucks who are in Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight in
Basketball.
the United States, and Jordan Spieth's home state is Wisconsin as well. So that area of the world has a lot to be cheering for today, although she says his home state is Wisconsin, but
it's Texas.
He came from Texas. I don't know whether he's lived in Wisconsin as well. Mary, you've got to get back to me again. Just when we solve one problem, we get another. Now, Andy Sullivan has finished with a 1 over par 71 in his 3rd round today after successive 67, so he's at -5. He's playing with Marcel Siem.
Very, very much looking forward to seeing Marcel Siem tomorrow, and very much in the present today. He's going to have a birdie putt on 18 to get him back to where he would like to be, which is 6 under par. That will be some bounce back after an 8 on the 14th. So just waiting for Marcel Siem to have a go at that little birdie putt. It's not a very long one, about 3 feet or so, and then we will see if he can in fact wrap that up and get to 6 under par for the Open Championship. That will be the stated aim, no doubt about that.
We've had an email from Lieutenant Commander Clay Cochrane from the Royal Canadian Navy. Says he's loving the coverage from the beauty of their little cottage Lake Koichan, I hope I got that right, on Vancouver Island, and says please tell Ron Jones that he is the undisputed champion at the art of whispering play. During golf commentary, he provides an intimacy suggesting personal whispers only for your ear. Thank you, Lieutenant Commander Clay Cochrane. And do keep your emails and your tweets coming. radio@theopen.com, and @theopen is our Twitter account as we go back to Matt and Reese.
At the par 3 16th, where Dylan Vitelli is just stepping into a birdie effort from 29 feet. He's currently on the mark of 7 under par. That has him tied for 5th. Sending the putt towards its fade, rolling from right to left and hanging on the high side. Little work left there, maybe 14 inches for Dylan to remain on the mark of 7 under. Let's go to Raymond.
Thank you, Matty. We're in the middle of the 15th fairway here as Morikawa is just settling into the club choice, and the caddy is now taking the bag away, and he is ready to fire. He's -11. He's got 214 yards from the middle of this fairway into this back right pin position. And as we know, one of the greatest iron players in the world as he hits it. And he seems to stroke the shoulders again, but this is magnificent. This is magnificent. What a golf shot. Sit. What an amazing golf shot, Ron.
Astonishing. Back to Matt.
Take the lead here on 16. Oh, it stretches and just breaks to the left at the end. The crowd were really willing that one on.
What an effort by Jordan Spieth. He just steps up and taps in here at 16. He will remain 11 under par. You can feel the excitement building for what's happening out here on the course. Ron and Raven.
Thanks very much, Matt. Now from 203 yards, pretty much in the middle of the fairway, Louis Oosthuizen. He's let things slip. 2 bogeys in his 5 holes so far on this back 9. 2 birdies on the front. He looked really good at 13 under. Comfortable, shall we say. But now he's got work to do again. 1 of 3 joint leaders. Oh, and he doesn't like this again. Suddenly, it's not going well at all. And this is way to the right. A familiar spot to many because you've got that bank, of course, on the right-hand side of the green, but it didn't even reach there. It went straight out right, and we can see it now. It does seem to be sitting up. Could never tell, of course, from here, but it's in the first cut there. And again, he's got one of those difficult little chips up onto the green. And so far, Ray, he hasn't played those very well.
No, his chipping has been a little loose, and you know, the guy hits it so well, he puts so well, there has to be some chink in the armour for not to be winning more often. But Louis was very lucky that that ball hit and stopped quite quickly before going into the hay. So he's a lot to deal with. A huge slope, probably 10 or 12 feet slope on this green up to this very, very firm green, as you've seen Morikawa's class shot, and it just hung onto the backside. So maybe a little bank round behind it, but still, there's a lot of work to do here. And as we've seen, 2 not so good pitch shots over the last 4 holes.
Absolutely, you can go back to us for putts, Marcus.
Yeah, we will, and we'll have calamari for dinner as well. Now, Marcel Siem.
For birdie on 18, here comes Marcel Siem looking to go to 6 under for the championship and a 70 today. The German is over the putt. It is a short putt. Can he finish his round with a flourish? Yes, he can. Of course he can. Marcel Siem rebounding magnificently after a triple bogey 8 on the 14th, giving it large to the crowd. They love him. So demonstrative, the German. And in a good place, isn't he? 267s followed by a 70. 6 under beyond his wildest dreams going into the final day.
Yeah, at this stage he's 5 off the lead. Of course, if you're negative, if it was me, you'd be thinking if I hadn't had the triple bogey, I'd just be a couple back. Now, somebody else who's bounced back a little, I think, is Dustin Johnson, Paul Eales.
Yes, he did. He made a nice 2 on the par 3 16th to go to 4 under for the championship. He smashed his tee shot 378 yards down the 17th, the par 4. Unfortunately, took 3 more to get down for a par. So he stands going to the 18th tee at -4, and the par run continues for Scotty Scheffler. He will be 7 under par as he boards the 18th tee.
Thank you, Paul, and we'll go straight back to Ron Jones and Raymond Burns.
Thank you, Marcus. We're down here in the 15th, looking at Louis' pitch shot. Him and his caddy Colin, probably for the first time his caddy's really getting involved here in this shot. So many different choices of shot. You can bump it into the bank or you can go the upward route, the air route, but he seems to be taking quite a big practice swing. I think he's going in the air this time. So not a lot of green to work with, a little bit of a bank behind it, but if there's a difficult shot out here, this is one of them. So 15th hole, 11 under par for the championship. Third shot, ball is up in the sky. Has it bounced too much? What a nice little shot. Unfortunately, he had to play the percentage shot there, Ron. He had no other choice. He had to make sure that he got enough on it, and he's left with about a 7-footer for par here in 15. Meanwhile, Morikawa is just doing a little bit of gardening between hole and ball, just repairing a couple of little marks as he steps in for this birdie putt to take him to 12 under par, Ron.
And the lead, of course, you're absolutely right, Raymond. I think it was almost impossible, as Raymond was saying, for Oosthuizen to get that ball really close. And I think he's probably done as well as he could have. Anyway, he's in a position where he can at least repair some damage and make his par. Meantime, all the focus of attention now is on Morikawa, who suddenly on the back nine has come alive. Well, really, since the 7th hole, he's had 4 birdies since hole 7. We're on 15 now. So, after a poor start, he really has come alive. And all the wonderful iron play we are so familiar with has really come to the fore. But now it's about putting. He's just on the bank, at the back, as Raymond described. Ball, he was a little fortunate in those terms that it did hold the ball up rather than allow it off the green. But here he comes again. You're never quite sure when he's ready to putt, but as soon as he starts wiping the putter head with his hand, you've got a fair idea that that's the start of his routine. And so it is again. Hand now on the thigh, now onto the putter. Claw grip. This for birdie to take the lead in the Open Championship. Morikawa from back towards front. Oh, just slides past, just slides past.
Yes, very enforced. It looked really good. The crowd liked it, but unfortunately it did not drop below the earth, the green, should I say.
Well, he's marked his ball just temporarily and replaced it immediately. Just quick chance to clean it. It's an easy little par putt from no more than, what, about 18 inches maybe. Pops it in, so Morikawa gets his par and stays as one of the 3 joint leaders at 11 under.
Yes, Ron, now we've got Louis from around 7 feet, from a completely different angle. A little bit of left to right in this putt, quite fast, that he just taps down a little mark there on his line. As we can do now, we can tap down little spike marks and little marks, etc. So he steps in. Extremely important putt here for Louis Oosthuizen. As he gets down on his honkers, has a little look, steps up from around 7 feet, taps another little bit of grass down in front of his line. So the last time steps in, takes his posture, hands up and down the grip for power here in 15. Ball is on its way,
Stays quite steady as it got there, and it does, and a great save, a super save there for Louis, a very important save, and we'll make our way over the 16th. Both players here tied at 11 under par.
Oh, well, we've seen a lot of really important par putts. That might just be the most significant of the lot, Sue Thurl.
Oh my goodness, you could really feel the tension all around that green, and also in the body language of Louis Oosthuizen. But I tell you what, that could be huge come the final analysis of this Open Championship.
So we still have a three-way tie at the top. Jordan Spieth after 16 holes, Louis Oosthuizen and Colin Morikawa alongside. And there are plenty of big names just waiting in the wings if there are any further slip-ups. It's 7:15.
Across the world on the Open.com and the official Open app, this is the Open Radio.
The long-standing and very highly regarded BBC broadcaster Gary Richardson has been in touch. He's enjoying the coverage. Says a big hello to Ron Jones and to Sue, to Rupert, and to our esteemed leader, Lord Tebster, as well. Let's go back outside. More on Dylan Fratelli with Matt Adams and Rhys Davis.
Dylan Fratelli has just executed his second shot from the left rough. Tried to run it low into this 17th hole with a massive false front. It did not make it to the crest and trundled back down onto the fairway. Jordan Spieth hit a massive drive here. He only has 77 yards left into this par 4 17th, but the hole is cut just over a ridge. Oh, he's hit this knockdown little pitch runner. Get to the top, Jordan, and stay there, stay. It's not holding. It's not holding. It's coming back down the slope. It's going to be right next to Dylan Fratelli. It may actually be outside of him. It was a brave effort there, but it is a difficult hole location there, Rhys.
Yeah, difficult hole location. The pin is, as Matt described, right on top of a false front, and he played the low shot, but he played it with a wedge, or quite a lofted club, and he's trying to scoot it up the bank and get it to spin. It was an extremely high tariff shot. He might be questioning or wondering whether he would have gone the aerial route and accepted 15 or 20 feet behind the flag now, as he's got a very difficult two-putt. We're going to go quickly back to Ron and Raymond.
Thank you, Rhys. We're on 16 here. Morikawa has the honour. 165, 25 owns the pin, 6 from this guarded left bunker, and the ball is in the air. Towering really high into this beautiful 16th hole. Hits the green beautifully, rolling down towards the flagstick, and he's a beautiful putt coming up here from about 10 feet. Tremendous iron play here on the back nine for this American from Los Angeles.
Well, he really is playing so well now at the moment, Morikawa. He's giving himself, he seems to be giving himself a chance pretty well on every hole. Remember, we're on the 16th now. The par 3, 165 yards. And as Raymond was saying, a pin cut 6 in from the left, where there are 2 big bunkers just guarding, just waiting to swallow up any wayward shot. Really is just waiting for an errant shot to the left. Gentle breeze, no wind of any great consequence. As Louis Oosthuizen, what an important putt that was on the previous hole for him for his par. Remains one of 3 joint leaders with Spieth and Morikawa. Sets it on its way. Louis watches it a little anxiously. Oh, and this is even better. Ah, listen to that roar. That's an even better shot than Morikawa's. That's to about 6, maybe 8 feet at most. 2 wonderful, wonderful tee shots by these 2 great players. That really was something. It's amazing how golf can generate this sort of excitement. And of course, around this 16th, you've got this huge grandstand behind. You've got all the hospitality suites on the right-hand side. And let me remind you, it's late in the evening, and the gallery which has been following. So that noise was almost like a football crowd, wasn't it? Great stuff, Raymond.
Absolutely, Ron. Over to you, Matt.
Thank you very much, Raymond. We're watching Dylan Fratelli's third shot at the Par 4 17th. He's about 35 feet away from the hole, but he has to go right up the slope of that falls front. This one comes in right, almost hole high and breaking to the left, closer to the hole. He's left himself still a pretty good putt for par. It's about 5-6 feet. Now we can report on Jordan Spieth, who hit his third just before him. It was about 38 feet from the cup. It is the 149th Open here at Royal St. George's, and Jordan Spieth, as a result of his third shot here at 17 from 38 feet in front, has about 8 feet left for par. He's currently at 11 under par. And Jordan Spieth, boy, Reese Davies, he has put up quite a fight today, and in many of these, he hasn't missed many, but this is one of those testers again.
He's had a number of putts on the back nine from this exact range. He had 4 in a row where he converted 2 of them and missed 2 of them, and this is in that same range of about 8 or 10 feet. It's going to be back uphill slightly and breaking slightly from left to right. These are the ones he's historically always been so good at, especially under these pressure situations.
Yeah, he made many putts on the front nine, so in the balance, he's been putting very, very well in this round. Jordan Spieth settling, sending it towards the cup, and it stays on the high side. Bogey for Jordan Spieth here at 17. He will drop to 10 under par. Let's go to Ron and Raymond behind us.
Thank you, Matty. We're here on the 16th. This famous par 3 here at Royal St. George's. And we've just seen 2 of the most glorious golf shots that anyone could hit into any green anywhere in the world, as Morikawa just struttles around the back right hand side, around the corner, around the left side, just taking in every opportunity to make sure he gets his line here on this 16th hole as he comes down from behind the ball, has a look one last time, wipes his putter with his left hand, steps into it, takes his posture. Currently 11 under par for the championship. Uphill, right to left a little bit. Has one last look. Putter headed back. Ball is on its way. Will it get there? Will it get there? Oh! Burglarized. That ball looked all the way, but unfortunately it'll be a tap in here for a 3 for Morikawa. As you can hear the crowds here, they're shouting Louis, Louis, Louis. Ron.
Yeah, well, a chance for Louis Oosthuizen to retake the lead all on his own. He's one of 3 joint leaders at the moment with Morikawa, who's just missed that putt by, literally a fraction. But Oosthuizen, from around about 8 feet, has a great opportunity. Just lost his touch for a short while, but he's putted beautifully throughout the championship. So, birdie opportunity on the 16th par 3. Forward and in from Louis Oosthuizen, who retakes the lead on his own and goes to 12 under par for the championship.
Well, that is astonishing from Louis Oosthuizen. So close to bogeying the 15th. He managed to hold his nerve there, hold on for par. Now he strikes with a birdie and he makes another significant stride towards what would be, of course, a second Open title 11 years after the first. Back to Paul Eales with news of Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler pars all the way from the 7th hole. This for a birdie 3. Knocks it in. Great birdie. Round in 69 for Scotty Scheffler. He finishes after 54 holes at -8.
Which soon means that he's still very much in the equation as well. And you just don't know who's going to find something strong, who is going to drift away, who's going to drift and come back, as has been the case with several people, or who's going to drift and probably not come back, as has certainly been the case with Dustin Johnson today.
I know, it's chopped and changed so much at the very, very top of the leaderboard. And what's surprising is after the momentum that players had yesterday, and plenty of it, the big names, they haven't quite been able to follow that up today. But Corey Connors certainly has, away from the big 3 at the top. John Rahm, well, he made a little bit of a move today as well. He's not a million miles away at 7 under par. Mackenzie Hughes on the same mark as well. And Cameron Smith, how well did he play to make it to 6 under par for the championship by the end of day 3. And we mustn't forget Justin Harding and Marcel Siem. Dylan Vitelli still going with a hole to play at 6 under par too. And earlier today, Kevin Streelman and Webb Simpson too doing a good job, along with Daniel Berger, Shane Lowry, Paul Casey and Andy Sullivan as well, all on 5 under par. Let's head back out to the course straight away and go to Matt and Reese.
We are on the 72nd hole tomorrow afternoon. Today it is but the 18th hole of round number 3, where Jordan Spieth, after a bogey at the 17th, finds himself 2 shots adrift of Louis Oosthuizen as he stands upon the tee box.
Yeah, Jordan's out with a driver here, which...
It's more inclusive, it's safer. What's not to like? Find out more and sign up now at theopen.com.
I'm Marcus Buckland alongside Sue Thurl. This is the Open Radio. We're broadcasting on 87.7 FM in the local area, on the Open website, an app, on Sirius XM in North America, TuneIn Radio worldwide, and TalkSport 2 in the United Kingdom. Do keep your emails and your tweets coming. radio@theopen.com, radio@theopen.com, and you can tweet us at The Open, hashtag The Open Radio. We'll be live tomorrow morning from 9 a.m. and we'll certainly have plenty of time to go through some of your tweets and your emails then. So I hope you can join us bright and early for the final day of what has been a quite fantastic 149th Open Championship. Back out to the course again, and Ron alongside Ramy.
Thank you, Marcus, and we're on the 17th hole here. Colin Morikawa has led up back a little bit. He's 139 to the flag. Louis has just striped another one down the middle of the fairway. He's only 65. This 426-yard par 4 17th hole is cut. 7 from the right, 28 on, just above the slope here on the right-hand side. To the right is 2 guarded bunkers, and then a big slope from the front up to 18 feet. So Colin Morikawa, caddy's just moved out of the way, 139 yards. And this lad has just put an absolute stripe show of this back 9 here with his iron play. His iron play's been phenomenal. Ball is on its way, high into the sky. Going right to the flag a little bit, just to the right-hand side. Spins back a little bit. Beautiful golf shot. About 10 feet for birdie coming up here for Morikawa. Over to you, Matt.
Jordan Spieth is 10 under par on the right side, extreme right side of the fairway here at the par 4 18th. He has 155 yards left into a hole that is protected by a ridge on the angle that he is coming in. He's going to have to get this very high in the air if he hopes to hold it close to the hole. The ball is on its way, descending towards the green, and this one comes in, hits that ridge, spins, and runs out. So it will be a birdie opportunity for Jordan Spieth. It's about 23 feet away, and he'll try to get to 11 under par. Back to you guys.
Well, Oosthuizen from 65 yards, but he's got a little problem because the ball is just in a little divot, and he and his caddy have been giving it some attention. It's not sitting nicely, and he's somehow or other now got to be very precise with this. 65 yards, pin cut on the right. He had a similar shot yesterday, he put it through the back. This time he makes a good contact, and again it's a little bit heavy, but the bank might help him this time. Doesn't come down off the bank, but he wasn't helped by the lie that he had there, Ray.
No, he was quite annoyed there when he came up to see it. It was sitting on a little half divot, a sort of a repaired divot from maybe during the week from practice, etc. So a very poor shot there. But look, it's a safe shot. He played the percentage shot again. He has about 25 feet here for birdie, but what a wonderful layup and what a wonderful second shot for Morikawa as we walk up towards the 17th here to give you putts in a few seconds. Marcus.
Thank you very much indeed, Ray. Hello to Brendan, listening from Detroit, Michigan. Says you guys are helping me get through a long, grueling day at work, rooting for Jordan and Colin. So, well, 2 of you men are doing extremely well. Keep up the good coverage. And he goes on to say that he's a journalism student who wants to cover basketball and golf during his career. Well, maybe we'll see you at St Andrews next year for the 150th Open. And in fact, I'm just very kindly told in my ear that there are plenty of jobs going here, including a couple in the presenting role. Thank you very much indeed to our producer there. How are you,
Yes.
Sue?
Motivational at this stage of a very long day.
It's just what you want to hear, isn't it? But thanks for that, and good luck with your career, and we do enjoy hearing from you. I apologise, we've had so many emails and tweets today, we haven't got through too many of them. We do read them all, and as I mentioned, if you could join us bright and early, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll get through a fair few more as we look ahead to what's going to be a sensational final day of the 149th Open Championship here at Royal St George's in Sandwich, in Kent, in this glorious setting which has been blessed with such fantastic weather. Back to Ron and Ramey.
Thank you, Marcus. As we are just looking here at Louis Oosthuizen, he's just got a 25-footer back up the slope here for birdie. He's currently -12 for the championship. This putt, if it goes underground, will get it a 13 under par as he steps in. Tall stance, hands go up and down the putter. Ball is on its way. Gives it a good rap. Is it going to get there? And unfortunately it just tails off to the right hand side, but a nice pace putt, quite a difficult putt. He had a lot of left to right in it as Louis just walks up casually, just steps in behind it just to clean this up for a par 4. And Louis remains at -12 for the championship as he makes his way over to the 18th. But coming up, we have a putt here from no more than 8-10 feet for Colin Morikawa to get to 12 under par run.
And if there is such a thing as a straight putt at Royal St George's, well, this may be one of them. As, again, he gives it all his attention. Shadows lengthening now, of course, at this time in the evening. But it's been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon of golf again. A full day of golf. The Open Championship always seems to provide its dramas and stories. And this is no different. So we're coming towards the end of the third round. Louis Oosthuizen, who had a little bit of a blip midway through his back nine, stands and watches now. He is the leader at 12 under par, but this putt from Colin Morikawa would put him level with Louis Oosthuizen. Over the putt. Takes a lot of time, as we know, but he's ready now. Long shadow in front of him. Back goes the putter. Forward goes the ball, and oh, he's missed it. Missed it. He stands up. He stood up almost immediately. I think he knew that he hadn't set it off on the correct line, and he's going to make sure of this. Well, it is a tap in, but he still has to give it his attention just to make sure he gets his par. And here he goes again. And from 2.5 feet, in it goes. So we're, as you were, Oosthuizen 12 under, Morikawa 11 under, as we go to the 18th and final hole in this third round.
Yeah, and the story may not necessarily have been told today because there are a couple of treacherous holes right at the end of this course. You can score on them, you can drop shots on them as well. So, until the final ball is hit in anger at the end of this sun-dappled afternoon stroke evening, it's going to be impossible to predict with any certainty who's done what and who will have to do what tomorrow, Sue.
That is so true, and we've seen so many examples today, haven't we, of turning points, potentially momentum switches as well, and we've seen some wonderful golf. It hasn't quite had the glittering drama of all the birdies, the cascade of birdies we had yesterday. It's been tougher out there today for one reason or another, but yeah, it is bubbling up so nicely at the top of the leaderboard, and I've been particularly impressed again with Colin Morikawa, who bounced back from not quite the start we saw yesterday, today was it, but he was a little more uncertain, but he's certainly found his rhythm and his stride as his round has progressed.
Okay, well, let's see how Jordan Spieth finishes off. Of course, he bogeyed 17. He's up on the 18th for a birdie putt. Reese.
With Jordan Spieth here putting for birdie from 15 feet on the 18th green. This is to get to 11 under par with a right centre putt. Keep the speed up and he'll drop. No! Slides by on the right hand side. Great effort by Jordan. He marks the ball, rolls it in his fingers, looks like he's going to finish off here. Walks into the ball, trying to get on with things here at the end of this beautiful evening. Ball's back and through. No! My goodness, how careless. Missed on the right side, the opposite side to he missed in the previous. Still going. This feels like a time just to have a rest and regroup. Back in, putt for bogey, and that drops. So careless 3-putt for Jordan Spieth drops him back to -9.
Oh my goodness me, well, we were just saying that dangers do lurk right at the end of around here at Royal St George's. Now, Louis Oosthuizen has just driven beautifully down the 18th fairway.
Yeah, this has been a hole. You used the word treacherous earlier. It's a really great way to describe what this hole has been like, this championship. But Louis Oosthuizen safely down the fairway on the left. Colin Morikawa is looking at a drive which is heading down the middle of the fairway again. No need for me to say that. He almost speaks for himself off the tee, and everything he does straight down the middle, and Morikawa has found the fairway again. So 2 good drives for the last 2 men out on the course on moving day.
Yeah, and Jordan Spieth somehow must forget about 2 bogeys that rather ruined the end of his 3rd round. Right, there's a birdie putt for Fratelli. Matt.
Wow, after all that. Okay, now Dylan Fratelli stepping in. He has a birdie putt here at 18 from 6 feet to get to 7 under par. He makes it. All right, so a bogey and a birdie here on the 18th green for our grouping of Jordan Spieth and Dylan Fratelli. He finishes at 7 under par. Jordan Spieth finishes at 9 under par as we head into the final round.
Thank you, Matt. So just 2 golfers left out on the course at the moment, and they are striding up the 18th fairway after excellent tee shots from Louis Oosthuizen and Colin Morikawa. Oh, some significant moments today. So it's dangerous often to point to one in particular, but the par putt from Louis on 15 just kept his head above water after he'd been wobbling. Then the birdie on 16, and there's a, well, I wouldn't say that there's a self-satisfied smile on his face, but he looks content as he heads towards his ball.
He does. There's quite a contrast in terms of his body language going down 18 and Jordan Spieth's body language as he ran off the course at the end of those last 2 holes. A bogey finish, went out in 32, came home in 37 for a 69, but it's that back 9 I think that's going to haunt him, because he birdied the 10th and seemed set fair for a real jewel coming down the last 8 holes of his round. Instead, 3 bogeys and 5 pars. That is not what Jordan Spieth was looking for, and he's really lost ground here, and it's the kind of mood shift for him he's going to have to deal with tonight when he reflects on those closing holes today.
Yeah, it seems only a matter of moments ago that we had a 3-way tie with Oosthuizen, Morikawa and Spieth all at 11 under. But Oosthuizen is heading up the 18th at 12 under, 1 under for his round today. Colin Morikawa is 2 under for his round today at 11 under. Spieth finishing just 1 under to be 9 under for the championship. Just behind them, Corey Connors, terrific round for the Canadian, 4 under, 66, and that's left him at 8 under for the championship, level with Scotty Scheffler. John Rahm came back strongly after a slow start. He is 7 under, so as things stand, he's 5 off the lead. So too Mackenzie Hughes, Dylan Fratelli, and then 3 players on 6 under, Cameron Smith, Justin Harding and Marcel Siem, who battled back really well after taking an 8 at the par 5 14th. He's still just about in contention. Kevin Struhlman had a really good round today at 66. He's at 5 under, so too Webb Simpson, Daniel Berger, the defending champion Shane Lowry, Paul Casey and Andy Sullivan. At 4 under, Robert McIntyre with the round of the day, a 65 for the Scot. Jason Kokrak had a 66. He's at 4 under, so too is Joel Damon and Danny Willett, who had an even par round. Cameron Tringali 1 over today to be at 4 under. Disappointing for Emiliano Grillo, who was 2 over today. Dustin Johnson +3 to be at 4 under. And then on 3 under, you've got Matthew Fitzpatrick, you've got Lanto Griffin, you've got Aaron Rai, you've got Matt Wallace, you've got Justin Rose, you've got Brian Harmon, you've got Ryan Fox, you've got Brooks Koepka. And at 2 under, Taylor Gooch, Antoine Rosner, Victor Hovland, Tommy Fleetwood, Dean Burmester and Brent Snedeker, not to mention Tony Finau and Daniel Van Tonder, who was +4 for today. Okay, let's get back out the final shots. Well, they'll be hoping roughly the final shots over the course of the next few minutes with Ron and Remy.
Yeah, thanks very much, Marcus. It is a glorious evening. It really is absolutely gorgeous out here. Shadows lengthening. Most of the 18th green in shadow now, in fact. But second shots, two lovely tee shots from Oosthuizen and Morikawa on this 18th, playing 449 yards today, Ray.
Yes, Morikawa is on the middle of the fairway on the right-hand side. Ball is in the air, high, towering flight. Coming down towards the green now, about to land. And what a wonderful golf shot. Pinpoint accuracy, complete strike show. This kid can hit irons. I've never seen irons hit like this before. Right, towering over the top of this flag. He has got a 15-foot putt for birdie coming up here in 18. Louis on the left-hand side from probably a better angle. But when you can hit irons like that, it doesn't matter what angle you're in. So anyway, Louis from the left-hand side of the fairway. Ball is in the air. David comes out of the ground. Ball is flying again high, coming down. Oh, and it just missed its spot by a couple of feet, and the ball is meandering just down to the front of the green. So a tough putt coming up here for Louis, but what a wonderful iron shot by Morikawa.
Well, in golf terms, in historical golf terms, the best iron player really of all time was Ben Hogan, and no one would really dispute that. But I think if Ben Hogan was watching this young man hitting iron shots, he'd be pretty impressed, wouldn't he?
It's incredible. It's incredible golf. The control, club face through impact, and it's the actual quality of the strike. It's the compression that he puts into his iron through the turf is quite.
And he's not a big guy, of course. He's what, 5'9", and there's not a lot of him. But my goodness me, he swings those irons quite beautifully. And it's, as you rightly say, it's the compression, the timing, lovely timing. And of course, with it comes confidence as well.
Exactly, and he surely has had lots of confidence since the 7th and 8th hole. As we hear the crowds cheering him coming up to the front of the green here, his first Open Championship. Yeah, Colin Morikawa.
And you see the difference now. Louis, who has done this, this is Louis' 14th Open. Louis immediately takes his cap off and recognises the crowd each time. Morikawa, first Open, he's heard all the applause before, but no real recognition, just walked forward. Of course, he's very concentrated in what has happened, but Louis is gracious. Huge crowd in the grandstands. They've all stayed to watch this final pairing. Patrons Pavilion packed as well. Over on the left-hand side. Caddy gets behind the ball again, crouches down, carrying the pin over his right shoulder, stalks away and leaves it to the player, to Colin Morikawa. Now he's ready. All the usual little routines. Shuffle of the feet. Left hand, right hand. One last look at the hole. This is for birdie on the 18th. And we go. Oh! Just misses on the left-hand side. I think he knew quite early on that it wasn't quite heading to the centre of the hole, but it will be a simple tap-in. Again, it goes quiet as he pops it in. So Colin Morikawa has picked up 2 shots today. He is at 11 under par, but he is 1 behind the leader for the 3rd round of the Open, the 149th Open at Royal St George's. Louis Oosthuizen is the leader at 12 under par.
Ron Jones, thank you very much indeed. Raymond Burns was alongside Ron today. What a fabulous set of descriptions they provided us. What a wonderful day it has been, and what an extraordinary final round we can look forward to. Louis Oosthuizen has led from the word go, but that lead is a precious one. Just the one shot over Colin Morikawa. Jordan Spieth is going to be spitting. He 3-putted on 18. He bogeyed the last 2 holes to finish on 9 under par. So 3 off the lead. Corey Connors is tied for 4th with Scotty Scheffler on 8 under. John Rahm, Mackenzie Hughes, Dylan Fratelli all on 7 under par. And then come Cameron Smith and Justin Harding and Marcel Siem at 6 under. And tied for 12th at 5 under we find Kevin Streelman, Webb Simpson, Daniel Berger, the defending champion Shane Lowry, Paul Casey and Andy Sullivan. Best round of the day belonged to Robert McIntyre. The young Scot shot a 5 under par 65 to finish at 4 under. And he's level with Jason Kokrak, Joel Damon, Danny Willett, who had an up-and-down day, Cameron Tringale, Emiliano Grillo, who was 2 over, and Dustin Johnson, who, alas for his many fans, was +3 today. Well, I mentioned McIntyre with the best round to take him up to a tie for 18th place, and here's what he had to say afterwards.
Pretty much the same as the last couple of days. I've really drove it well. Iron play's been decent. I just found some putts that I've been waiting on, and thankfully it happened today. I felt like I've played great over the last 3 days. Even the first 2 days I felt like it was a strong performance, just couldn't hold putts. We done a bit of work last night, just a little performance drill, and it seemed to help with confidence, and we just kept it rolling early on today.
Yeah, a 65 that has him 8 off the lead. It's a little far-fetched to think he might go and win the Open today, but he's trending in the right direction.
He's definitely trending in the right direction, and the difference between his performance today and those of others was that he made things happen out there. There are some big names this evening who'll be looking at their performance today and just thinking, what happened? Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson to name but 2. Paul Casey couldn't get anything going. Sergio Garcia, neither. Ian Poulter couldn't get anything going. Lee Westwood fell away. There were so many. Rory McIlroy sparkled, didn't he? At one stage he was 4 under for his round, but then he too slipped away. I think the back nine has showed its teeth today, and no one knows that better than Jordan Spieth, with 3 bogeys on the back nine and 1 birdie. And here is something about Jordan Spieth that will tell you everything. He's literally jogged straight off the 18th green and run straight onto the putting green, where he is not a happy camper.
No, he's apparently got all sorts of contraptions out there trying to work out what went wrong on 18 in particular, where he had a birdie putt which would have had him nestled up right behind the leader. But instead, somewhat inexplicably, he 3-putted. Now, Marcel Siem had a moment of horror on the par 5 14th. He took an 8 there, which could easily have derailed him, but he battled back with a couple of birdies thereafter. He finished even for his round, 6 under overall.
It's really, really good fun. I had the feeling all day there's something that's going to happen, but it went the wrong way, the happening. But the crowd's awesome. It's really, really good fun. My goal is to win. I play well enough, everything is there. You don't get these chances that many times. I think if I go out there tomorrow and say, like, okay, if I finish top 20, that's good, I think that would be not the right attitude. So I will try to win somehow, do my best, but I will try to keep my coolness like I did today, you know, finishing top 10 or top 15 worst case of scenario. You know, I won't do anything stupid.
Well, it will be a lot of fun watching him try to win tomorrow. And the way he bounced back from that 8 just spoke volumes for his character.
Well, a lot of players would have been lost in a world of their own after that, because when you get a snowman on the card, it's very difficult to forget about it. And that's the trouble with golf. I mean, you're inside your own head, living there rent-free, aren't you, when things go wrong? But what was so impressive is after that triple bogey 8 on the 14th, he hit back with 2 birdies coming down the stretch. On 16, I think, and on 18 as well. So a brilliant performance from Marcel Siem, who continues to defy the odds, the 41-year-old, with a 67 on his birthday, and getting into the Open Championship, first time in a major since 2015. He's had his ups and downs away from the course, been playing challenge golf, which is the level below the European Tour. He won a challenge event coming into the Open, and he's just rebounded from that momentum and is playing quite beautifully, and he doesn't want to stop there.
Quite right. So he is 6 off the lead. John Rahm is 5 back. He was a little slow to start with. He had some ups and downs. He finished with a 68 today, and he admitted that he did find it tough.
I mean, I've played a few Opens now, but today could be as a whole some of the hardest pin locations I've seen collectively. Those greens can be difficult, and there's a lot of highs in all of them, and they put all those pins in little mountaintops where everything slopes away. You know, holes like 5 and 9 are great examples where if you hit it an inch too far right, you're going to have a tough time making a par right. Again, I understand why they're doing it. You know, it's not too windy, it's perfect conditions. Courses are getting a little bit firmer. We're having shorter irons into the green, so I understand they had to do that. And today, anything in the 60s is a good round. If anybody shot 3, 4, even 5 under, it's an incredible round. Sometimes it's hard to tell in the yardage book where exactly they are in relation to the slope. A good example is the pin on 6. You don't know if it's past the little mountain or before the little mountain, and that can affect your strategy, right? Sometimes knowing where the best spot is, but with limited wind and greens that were still, for the most part, receptive, it was doable. Not that it was easy, but it was doable. It was a lot harder to make the putts, though.
Yes, a few problems for John Rahm, but he battled away. I'm sure he believes that he can go all the way tomorrow. We've now got pictures of Jordan Spieth back on the practice green, trying to work out what he needs to do better tomorrow.
He's there with his caddy, Michael Greller, and also talking to what looks like his coach or his putting coach. He's talking to somebody who's explaining to him perhaps where it went wrong and the tweaks and adjustments that he needs to make. But it is extraordinary. Golfer of his calibre goes immediately to the putting green to try and repair what he feels is not quite right. But he will look at the birdie at 10, and from that point, co-leader of the Open Championship. It only went one way. There were just 3 birdies and 4 pars from there. That was the problem.
But he is
3
only,
bogeys, I beg your pardon,
yeah,
sorry.
He is only 3 back. There is plenty of time to make amends for those errors towards the end of his 3rd round. Now, Dylan Fratelli, like John Rahm, is tied for 6th place. He had an even par 70 today. Birdies were at a premium. He did get one right at the end. Here's his reaction.
Even par round, it was up and then down, I guess. Played well through the front 9, battled hard in the beginning, and then made some birdies through the turn there, and struggled a bit on the back 9 to get the ball in the fairway, but I was happy with the way I played. I didn't putt too well. I'm going to go to the putting green now and work on it a little bit, but I thought if I made 2 or 3 crucial putts in the middle of the round there, it might have changed things.
Yeah, well, he hung in there. I'm going to put you on the spot then, Sue. First of all, how many players do you think are still in contention? How far down that leaderboard would you be prepared to go?
Well, with Oosthuizen on 12 under par, I mean, there are some very good players on 5 under par who'll be looking to set a really low mark and put the pressure on. So I would probably tentatively go back that far, but I would feel more comfortable if you want someone to reach out of the pack and grab one of the leaders by the scruff of the neck, looking at 6 under or 7 under for someone who might just go deep and go big early on and then hope the weather isn't the best or the runners and riders at the top fall over.
Well, if we do go as far down as 5 under par, it means that no fewer than 17 players are still in the mix to win the 149th Open Championship. And obviously Oosthuizen is going to be the favourite. He's been top all the way through thus far. But, although he's a major winner, that came 11 years ago to the day. So has he got what it takes to stay in front tomorrow?
Well, that's a question. He's gotten used to being the bridesmaid, never the bride. But I would take you back to the Masters earlier this year. Do you remember Hideki Matsuyama coming down the stretch, had a 6-stroke advantage, and that for one reason or another was whittled away to 1 at one stage. So in the closing stretch, it just goes to show what a combination of nerves, anxiety, and outstanding play by the chasing pack can do. So that's why I would encourage you to not necessarily rule out some of the quality golfers at 5 under par.
If you are wondering about some players that we haven't mentioned, you were listening out for them in particular, well, I'll fill you in on a few disappointing stories, to say the least. Kevin Kistner was 8 over today, a 78, leaving him 7 over for the championship. Sam Burns struggled with a 76. Ricky Fowler, a 75 to be at +6. Quite a few big names did not find things easy. Podrick Harrington +3 today, and that left him at +3 for the championship, a tie for 64th place. Bryson DeChambeau just couldn't get it going, +2 for today, leaving him at +3 altogether. Ches Reavie, Billy Horschel, Adam Scott, all players who were expected to make a bit of an impact. Well, it never happened for them. Likewise, Xander Schauffele, +2 today, a 72. He's +2 for the championship. Jonathan Thompson had the hole-in-one yesterday, of course, so he had fond memories of that, but he was +3 today to be +1 overall. And going just a little further up, Sergio Garcia, you mentioned him, Sue, a 73 today to leave him at even par. Lee Westwood, 2 over today, he's at even. Matthias Schmidt, he's the amateur and he's in pole position to win the
bogeys away to the course, but I just told myself there's lots of golf left. You know, try and hit the fairways and go from there. If you're uncomfortable, go for the big side of the green and and take it from there. But yeah, golf course was definitely set up a little different today. It was a lot tougher, and glad I could shoot on a par.
Is he going to go on and win it, Sue?
I think he really could. I mean, I was a bit hesitant at the start today. It wasn't quite the Louis Oosthuizen we've gotten used to seeing.
I have to shout for. They're almost out of bounds here in the right-hand side, up against the railing. There's a lot of goings on here, Ron.
Well, dramatic stuff to say the least.
Yes. Well done, John Ram. That's a great save on the 18 and hugely important as we head into tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely significant because he's now feels that he must be in it.
This is back to -9.
Ball in the hole. Our leader at the moment, Louis Oosthuizen, -12.
As he pops it in, so Colin Morikawa has picked up 2 shots today. He is at 11 under par, but he is 1 behind the leader for the 3rd round of the 149th Open at Royal St George's. Louis Oosthuizen is the leader at 12 under par.
On the tee from South Africa, Louis Oosthuizen.
Leader by 2 from Colin Morikawa. And in it goes. He really does hole out so well. That was from about 4 feet, but it's a birdie for Oosthuizen, birdie for Morikawa.
Yes, Jordan Spieth with the birdie. Kept the ball inside the hole. Great putt. 4 under for his round through 10 holes and up to 12 under par.
Get in. Yes, he holds it. Well done. Great putt right in the front door from Rory McIlroy off to a birdie start. 1 under into red numbers.
Corey Connors drains the birdie putt. That's a lovely little move from the Canadian on the 12th.
I felt like I drove it well and hit my irons really well, and it was a lot of fun out there.
And the X one. 4! Sorry, I have to shout for. They're almost out of bounds here in the right-hand side, up against the railing. There's a lot of goings on here, Ron.
Well, dramatic stuff to say the least.
Yes. Well done, John Ram. That's a great save on the 18 and hugely important as we head into tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely significant because he's now feels that he must be in it.
This is massive for Rory. Par putt, come on.
It's on its way. Oh, it's just missed.
Sort of a tale of 2 nines, just a matter of trying to keep that going, and it's getting there.
And in from Louis Oosthuizen, who retakes the lead on his own.
And that drops. So careless 3 putt for Jordan Spieth drops him back to -9.
Ball in the hole. Our leader at the moment, Louis Oosthuizen, -12.
As he pops it in, so Colin Morikawa has picked up 2 shots today. He is at 11 under par, but he is 1 behind the leader for the 3rd round of the 149th Open at Royal St George's. Louis Oosthuizen is the leader at 12 under par.
On the tee from South Africa, Louis Oosthuizen.
Leader by 2 from Colin Morikawa. And in it goes. He really does hole out so well. That was from about 4 feet, but it's a birdie for Oosthuizen, birdie for Morikawa.
Yes, Jordan Spieth with the birdie. Kept the ball inside the hole. Great putt. 4 under for his round through 10 holes and up to 12 under par.
Get in. Yes, he holds it. Well done. Great putt right in the front door from Rory McIlroy off to a birdie start. 1 under into red numbers.
Corey Connors drains the birdie putt. That's a lovely little move from the Canadian on the 12th.
I felt like I drove it well and hit my irons really well, and it was a lot of fun out there.
And the X one. 4! Sorry, I have to shout for. They're almost out of bounds here in the right-hand side, up against the railing. There's a lot of goings on here, Ron.
Well, dramatic stuff to say the least.
Yes. Well done, John Ram. That's a great save on the 18 and hugely important as we head into tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely significant because he's now feels that he must be in it.
This is massive for Rory. Par putt, come on.
It's on its way. Oh, it's just missed.
Sort of a tale of 2 nines, just a matter of trying to keep that going, and it's getting there.
And in from Louis Oosthuizen, who retakes the lead on his own.
And that drops. So careless 3-putt for Jordan Spieth.